Much better. Can you hear me now? Much better. Ah, yes. You can hear me very good. So hold on, let me turn this volume down a little bit. Okay. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me meow? Can you hear me meow? Okay. You totally can. Okay. So these headphones are so loud. Like normally I have to have it. I have to turn it down. I have to turn it down to like 10%. I'm not really sure how we feel about this light so much, but I look at this. This is a beautiful little moon. I tried to make it so you guys can see it. There's like the star, and then this like nice little moon right here, sitting upright. Isn't that beautiful? Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna maybe turn off this light and switch it. Give me 1 minute. Okay, you can hear me, which is great. So hold on. I'm gonna turn it around actually. So I'm in front of the window. Because I thought you guys would have a much better view of the moon, but you actually don't. And I think I would rather use this garden light. Yeah, that's better. I'm feeling a little dark. It's so weird. The screen on here is different. Hello, Barry. Is this my homie, Barry? Barry? This is my friend Barry I met in Thailand. Okay. Goodness, sorry. It's like this chair is so crazy. In Indonesia, they're so strange. You know, the way that they make chairs is so they don't actually fit on the table somehow, or under the table. I mean. Okay, so anyways, guys, I decided I was thinking about already doing it, and then I saw somebody left me a message today, and they were like, I don't know exactly who they were, and I don't know exactly what they were trying to get at, but sorry guys, this is super crazy. But somebody was basically saying that they were having all of these things that were happening, and basically that they felt betrayed by the divine because many people that they loved. Let's see, here's good. Many people that they loved were passing away, and it's not exactly what I was going to speak on, but the reality is, so let's say, for instance, there's a lot of chosen ones. There's a lot of ciao. That is you. If it's you, Barry, big love. There's lots of chosen ones, right? There's lots of ones of us beings, star seeds, indigos, light warriors, um, crystalline, rainbow, whatever, indigos, right? And we came here to actually complete a mission. And many of us are on like this actual big mission. And because of that, there's a lot of people that are maybe somewhat jealous. I don't know how else to explain it, but I think that there's a lot of jealousy that's running around it. And something I was downloaded with a little bit back was basically that these people, for instance, let's say they just have a lot of hatred, they have a lot of jealousy or something, and with that, what happens is, yeah, well, You know, everybody's got to be good at something. Some of us are better at better things than others, but whatever. So, anyways, it's like, for instance, let's say these people are so jealous and they put out some type of like black magic, some type of dark energy, some type of bad spells. And when we're doing the return to sender spells, what happens is it returns back. But the thing is normally these people that are doing these spells are either high level, they have a high level of understanding, or maybe they're practitioners of some sort, or maybe they're part of some type of groups or something like this of some sort. And you know, the reality is they're like, I can't understand. Now there's two things that I channeled earlier. Okay, there can be two ways. One, it's like these people that are really jealous, and so what they're doing is they're attacking. They're sending attacks, they're sending black magic, they're sending spells and all this stuff. Number one. Number two, let's say, for instance, you have a friend. Let's say you have a divine union or you have a divine purpose or a divine mission, right? But you have a friend that's actually jealous of that. And because that friend is jealous of that, they don't want you to come into the union. They don't want you to fulfill your purpose. Maybe not because, I mean, at some point they maybe had some type of jealousy, hatred, envy, whatever this is. Maybe it was due to greed, whatever the reason actually was, or in their mind they justified. So now what happens is if these people send magic, let's just say like this. Let's say there's a divine union that's supposed to happen, right? And or you're supposed to connect. There's some type of job, partnership, union, whatever, and you're supposed to connect with this other being, these other beings, and be fulfilling your divine purpose. Now, let's say that these other people are so jealous of that, and so instead, what they do is they interfere. So they basically put out some type of spell work or other things, trying to maybe send the partner towards another person to confuse them, like a confusion illusion, distraction, or for them to be upset, like obsession spells, something like this, right? And so they're sending these spells on behalf of one individual, but let's say that individual doesn't know that these other people are sending out these spells. Well, what's going to happen is there's going to be a backfire, right? And so what's going to start to happen is all these people, it will be everyone that they care about around them. Or if they do it, let's say in your name, right? And you're the chosen one, all the people and all of the things that they love around them, the backfire will start. Yeah. The backfire will start to come back, if that makes sense. And so and what it will do is it won't directly hit the person who sent it first. It will take away all these other things around it. So, for instance, let me just give you a scenario, right? I had twin flame. I have had whatever, I don't know, right? A couple. But let's say this person's best friend, right, is so jealous. So instead, they put this spell work out, right? And so they put the spell work out and they use something of this divine partner's, something of theirs, right? And they use that to do some type of spell work or something else like this. And basically, what's happening is now because the partner, because the divine masculine, whatever. I'm just saying this is just a scenario, right? So you guys can get a better understanding. So let's say the divine masculine is like, I don't understand, right? I keep praying for my love to come in. I keep praying like I'm waiting, I'm waiting, I'm waiting. However, they're still entertaining these lower vibrational, these lower frequency beings, or maybe some type of addiction or some type of something, right? And because they're entertaining that, basically what's happening, because they still have these people surrounding them, they're going to start losing other people and other things that they love around them because they're not cutting it off, right? Again, they can be under some type of disillusion, like illusionary spell, or it can just be simple, like, for instance, oh, well, they're my best friend, they're my family, I've known them for so long, we've been through all of this other stuff, right? Like, And the reality is no, no. If you have a divine mission, chances are you need to just fucking cut off most everybody in your life, and what will come back, not what will be harassing, not what will be begging. No, 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 no. What will naturally vibrate to you and your resonance will be higher vibrational beings, will be the right people. But if you keep entertaining or you keep working and you keep these people as you're close, as you love them, right? Basically, the way that they downloaded me with is it's like this. They put some type of spell work, some type of black magic, some type of thing that's blocking your love from being able to exist in your life. Now, if you have a divine counterpart, they can't really fuck with that. Okay. They may be able to create some disillusionment to kind of make things preventative or bring other people, other energies in to be preventative. However, what's going to happen is if the divine counterpart is highly elevated, right? If they're highly tapped in, then what's going to happen is all of the other people and the things that love you more than whoever was that put the spell, they're going to start having bad things happen. They're going to start having accidents. They're going to start maybe being unalived or whatever, right? It's going to be, and it's going to hit everybody before it actually gets back to the person that put out the spell, because most likely the person that put out the spell understands a little bit something around spell work, right? There's not, these are, I'm not picking up that these are people that are new to this. And so that's essentially like what's going on. And that's essentially what's fucking people up. Um, Now, some you will find that bad things are happening to the people because they were participatory in it. So, for instance, let's say you have one friend or a karmic or something like this, and they were super jealous, they were super envious. Hello, everybody. Let's say they're super jealous or they're super envious, right? And they really, really, really like they just don't want you to have this connection, maybe because they're in love or maybe because they want you to be with them, whether it's a partner, a friend, an associate, whatever it is, right? You're very welcome. And so what happens is now they may start, they could have but things could happen to their children, things could happen to their pets, things could happen to your grandparents, whatever. And it's going to start rippling and rippling and rippling and rippling, right? And it's not always that just from that one person. Let's say that one person was like, da 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 da, and they basically created this whole smear campaign or something on the divine counterpart, right? On the person that you're supposed to share a divine mission with. And so all these other people got on board. Now, they don't necessarily have to participate in the ritual of the black magic of the whatever, but they can still have that envy, that jealousy, that anger, that lust, the greed, the resentment, whatever it is. And if they have that, like let's say this one person is like, okay, we're gonna start a smear campaign because we don't want divine masculine to connect with divine feminine, because that means that we lose whatever, that we don't get paid. Like let's say there's darker forces or darker entities, right? And they're coming in, they're like, we're gonna pay you. We're gonna pay you to run this smear campaign. And everybody took a payout. Now, even though they didn't participate in the fucking black magic ritual, they took money, so they concur. So they are actually participatory. So now, let's say your best friend, eh, let's say a karmic or a friend or a homie or whatever, put out this bad energy. Now, let's say they got your other friends or your family on board or whatever, right? And now you're like, why is my business partner's kid like having these terrible things? Like, why is my best friend's pet, what my grandparents, whatever? Like, why is this happening? Why is it just like one bad thing after another, after another, after another, like with everybody all around me? Well, because they all concurred to some extent, right? And so it's gonna basically everyone that had that resentment, that jealousy, that anger, that envy, that whatever, it's gonna start to and it's going to hit everything along the way before it gets back to the actual person who put it out, especially if they're attacking another chosen being. So again, like a divine union, when there's two chosen beings, if one of them is not as high vibrational or is not as enlightened as the other one, then they'll start to see that there'll be a lot more. Don't go far, please. They'll start to see that there's a lot more um, things happening to people around them, and it's like you really can't prevent that. So it doesn't mean, and I was picking up on this. I was literally picking up on this, like as if a divine masculine was like, I thought that this person, like the way that I feel in my soul, my intuition is telling me, yes, 100%. But if you have a divine mission, okay, if you have a divine mission, then the reality of that is anybody that is blocking, evading, stopping it, or doing any of these things, it's going to start backfiring along the way. So let's say, for instance, they were like, all right, well, everybody smear campaign Divine Feminine and everybody just block Divine Feminine and make her do whatever. And we'll do the spell work to make her come running or to come doing whatever, right? And so, like, it will start literally backfiring right along the way. And it's really, really intense because you're like, a lot of these people are like, I don't understand why all these things are happening to all these people around me. And they're just like, oh, well, for sure, Divine Feminine was probably putting some weird spell work out. No, absolutely not. You know what I'm saying? Or Divine Masculine, like, absolutely not. It's just the amount of hatred, jealousy, envy, greed, whatever, lust is literally backfiring on all these people because they for some reason were like, oh yeah, it'll be funny. Well, let's see what happens. Nothing, no harm, no foul. Well, actually, it is a big harm and a big foul. And now there's a lot of people that are suffering due to that. Hold on one second, guys. I have to go. I'm not at home, and I have my kitty, and I just don't want her to go too far. All right. Yeah. I don't want you to go too far, okay? I don't want to worry about you. Can you stay here? Can you stay here? You want to say hi to everybody? Say hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. I love to explore. We went on a big adventure today. So anyways, I just really felt very called to basically share this information because I think a lot of people are literally convincing people. For instance, if you don't understand that much about magic or alchemy or people, like many of us, especially if you're chosen, right? Especially if you're a divine being and you're chosen and you're doing good things, you're of love, you're of light, and you're like, I don't get it, I don't understand, like maybe this is wrong. They did that intentionally. It's part of a disillusionment spell. And they did that because they want you to feel confused. And so literally, like that's why me, myself, right? Me, myself, and I, that's why I decided, all right, um, exactly, exactly. Last ed key, 100%. The energy has to go somewhere if it doesn't hit the target. And here's the thing. If they're attacking, for instance, the divine feminine or something like this, excuse me, if they're attacking like a chosen being, and the chosen being is like, all right, like I do all the time, return to sender, and we return to sender. Well, anybody that was on board with this person doing it, whether they participated in the actual magic or not, their actual intent to block it or to create some type of whatever is enough, right? Because just like what you're saying, last ed, right, is energy doesn't like it doesn't dissipate, right? It needs somewhere to go. We either transmute it or we transfer it. So that's basically what's happening. Now, what happens is when we return to sender, you eat that shit for breakfast. I know, I know, I know, I know. That's what I'm saying, right? Sometimes we gobble it up, but I don't want to transmute like harmful spells, hurtful spells, death magic. Like, I don't need to do that. I did it for long enough. And now I'm like, nah, that's trash energy. I'll send that shit right back, like return to sender. And so now what's happening is because they wanted to attack the thing that you love or the thing that the divine feminine loves or whatever, right? Because they wanted to attack that. Now what happens is when it gets turned back, it's taking out the thing that these people loved one by one, right? You should see me in a crown, one by one, until it gets all the way back to the actual sender. Because what it's attempting to do is to let the person know that was sending that shit trash energy towards you, that participated, or in all those that participated, like, hey, you better fucking change your ways, and you better apologize, you better you better cop the truth, right? Because if you don't cop the truth, then what's going to happen is it's going to come back to get you, right? Because the energy is not being transmuted, it's not being elevated, it's not being transmuted, and so that's the issue. So it goes back, and now if these other people that are doing it are like, well, I put this protection spell and blah 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 blah, then it hits the next people that are weakest. Also, another thing that's important to know is um that shit don't work along with drugs, poison, even bullets. Miss me, facts. That's right. That's fucking absolutely right. So anyways, the reality is like, also, if you are chosen, right? If you have a really high divine purpose or mission, then what you'll see is that a lot of people that were close to you, that maybe were really like your best friend, your family, or whatever else, what you're going to start to see is that they can actually be hopped by these dark entities if they have any lower, if they're lower vibrational, number one, but if they have lower intentions, lower vibrational, lower shit like this, because I mean, because because of the shitty things they does, whatever, something like this. And so, you got to understand that it's not necessarily like, I don't know who this person was that put something in the chat, but I was like, listen, I can't. He was like, can you tell the world that I'm done praying to God? I'm like, listen, I don't know who you are. Maybe try to pray to the supreme goddess, pray to the goddess. The goddess is where the compassion is coming from, right? um God is gracious, but the goddess is compassion, is love, is forgiveness. And so the thing is these people are praying to be like, oh well, please, please, please don't take my partner. But the thing is their intention and their energy was 1000% to prevent these people from having their partners, because they were jealous, because for some reason in their own mind they're like, nah, they don't deserve that, or I don't think they should be. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't, when people are like, I'm the only one that can judge, I'm like, who the fuck are you, bro? Like, what? Somebody came on yesterday and was saying, I'm the only one that can judge, I'm the one that God chose, blah blah blah. It was actually, she said she was a 70-year-old black woman, and I was like, if you were the chosen one, then want to go inside? Go on. If you were the chosen one, then why did shit only just start happening, like start moving forward quickly in the last year or so? And I wasn't trying to be a dick, but in all reality, like, we could have had a little bit more, we could have had a little bit more ripple effect if there was chosen ones that were alive and aware of it before recent times, right? So, yes, baby. She wants the air. Oh, that's good. That's light from the outside. So, anyways, the point is, you really have to be in tune to your intuition, number one. Number two, you have to understand that not everybody really wants you to win. They may sit there and be like, well, I want you to win. You know, it's like I try to I try to what do you call it? I tried to relate it to like, you know, when people steal things from you and then they're like, "Oh my God, where'd it go? Let me help you look for it." And you're just like, "What?" And they'll be like, "What? Where was the last place you saw it?" Like blah 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 blah. Like this is the energy that I was picking up on. And it's like these are people that are very, very close to you that are doing it. And that's why people are like, "Well, you're bitter and you're angry and you just fucking cut everybody off." And I was like, "Listen, what I know as a divine chosen being is if I cut a bunch of people off and they're meant to be in my realm, then they will be able to re-enter. If they're not re-entering, there's a couple reasons why that's happening. Okay. Number one, the divine, your spirit team is not letting it happen. That's the biggest one. Okay. There's divine interference, right? Like basically happening, divine intervention. Um, Number two, it can be like, I mean, it's mostly divine intervention, but it can be, for instance, these people know that they wronged you. They participated. For instance, let's say people are like acting fucking Swiss about it, right? Like, and by Swiss, I mean neutral, right? Where it's like, well, I don't want to pick a side. Now, if you sat back and you watched all these people doing these things and you knew that that person or the other person, you knew the information, you knew the truth and you still watched it play out like a fucking drama, like a film, and you didn't speak to anybody, um you didn't say what the actual truth or the reality was or is, you know, you didn't defend. It's like people are like, well, it's not my battle, I don't want to defend it. Yes, but if you're not doing the right thing, regardless if it's your fucking battle or not, if you're not doing the right thing and you know something is wrong and you're watching people smear other people's name, you're watching people wrong other people, you know that people put fucking spells, you know, because you heard them laughing about it and talking about it and chatting about it, and you blew it off because you're like, oh well, I'm not really going to join this conversation, but I'll sit here and watch and listen to everybody else having it. Well, guess what? You're actually, your ass is up for fucking smashing too, you know, like, and it's like that shit can backfire and ripple back onto these people just because they actively knew and chose not to be honest. They chose not to stand up for what was right and what is true. Now, this is how it works, right? The divine is like, listen, I want people that are authentic, people that are true, people that are clear. This is number one. The truth will always come back out. The problem is everybody who sat there being like, well, you know, I'm just going to see what happens. That shit is going to start affecting all those people, whether it's affecting their jobs, their love lives, their finance, their psyche, whatever it is, whatever they thought was funny. Because what I picked up on is a lot of these people were actually watching like a fucking, like the real world, like, ooh, making bets and whatever, right? So they were actively with intent wanting to see collective, like, fallout or have a mental B or, you know, get locked up, get put away, fucking unalive themselves, whatever. Like there's a lot of sick fucks out there. Let's just be real about it. And I wish that it wasn't the case. But while we're eradicating all of that, you got to understand that any of these people, if bad things are happening to people right now, it's not just random. It's not coincidental. It's purely intentional. We are in the most heaviest karmatic return right now. So also, if you did something and you got all these other people on board, you're setting them up for a pretty heavy karmic slapback. And it's just something people should be aware of. So it's not that God has forsaken you. You know what I'm saying? It's just, yeah, because they see, yeah, bullets made a sound when they wing by. You're not lying, and it ain't me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's like Matrix shit. You're like, whoa, 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 whoa. But the shit's gonna hit. It's still got to hit somewhere. right? It's still gonna pierce something somewhere, whether it boomerangs back or not. And if it boomerangs back and the person's like, well, this is my favorite animal, this is my lover, this is my whatever, like this is my business, this is wherever their true love is, whether it's a person, whether it's money, whether it's a business, whether it's a substance, whether it's a pet, a kid, a grandparent, an uncle, a friend, it doesn't matter. Like it's gonna boomerang right the fuck back and it's gonna ding, 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 hit those fucking people, you know? And before it comes back to the actual person who put it out. So that's why it's important that chosen people, that's why I say the best thing to do if you're chosen is to just be kind of clean, clear, and celibate, right? Because there's so many different ways that the entities can try to come at you. And if anybody's a lower frequency, they are going to be jumped or hopped into to be able to attack. If that makes sense. Hold on one second. I just want to open that more. Yeah, okay. So you guys can see more. So anyways, so yeah, I just wanted to come on because I told this, whoever this was, I don't even know if they're a subscriber or not, but they left a message on one of my things. And yeah, because they secretly found it entertaining. And that's what I'm saying is the thing is we don't always know. And it's like, let's say, you know, it's like the whole Grape Academy, right? First it was 62 million in February hits, but it's actually 82 in March million hits, right? And it's like, well, not all men or whatever. Well, it's like, yeah, but the percentage means it's at least like 5 out of 10 of your friends or 6 out of 10 of your friends. So who's into really sick fuck shit? You don't always know. They may joke about some things, but you don't always know. And a lot of people, for instance, if they try to join, if they're trying to be part of a like fraternity, like Masonic, Eastern Stars, anything like that, right? They have these like people have to get on board with doing hazing rituals, attacking, like all these different things. It's like being hopped in a gang or something. Like that's the only thing I can really think about is like, is it's got to be like that, where it's like, all right, well, if you want to be fucking part of the crew, you're gonna have to make this person fucking piss their pants, or you're gonna have to make this person want to unalive themselves, go out, like lose their mental stability, or you're gonna have to you're gonna have to create some type of illusion or something that prevents divine beings from coming together or whatever, you know, who really knows? I don't really know, right? I'm like, I'm out here on my own doing my own light magic. I may dress in black, but I don't fuck with black magic. 0%. I'll never do dark stuff because karmatically, like, nah, I've had enough lifetimes to know better than that. And the reality is, uh, if you're gonna come on here and say weird shit, then you're just gonna have to go. You don't belong here. Bye. So later. Peace out. I don't deal with disrespect. If you're new here, I don't deal with disrespect. I am a high priestess, so we don't do that. We don't do that. If you're interested in talking like a normal fucking adult human being, you can find the information in the information box below and send me a message on Instagram, but not here. This is a very, very enlightened collective that I have here, and I don't appreciate fucking shit eaters that talk shit and say vile things. It's people like you. It's people like you that do shit like this. So, anyways, as you can see, boom, watch out, here they come. So, the reality is because there's a lot of people that are still doing dumb shit, that are still like fucking children, right? They're like, ooh, put no, 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 no. Disrespect, 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 disrespecting a chosen one, even talking shit, even literally like this, derogatory comments. Like, you're probably gonna break your fucking foot. You're probably gonna break your fucking face. You might fall down some stairs. You might fucking lose some money. because you're literally attacking, whether it's verbally, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, or physically, sexually, it doesn't matter. You're attacking chosen beings. We are in the midst of a fucking spiritual warfare. If you want to fuck with it, have a nice life. May you have the life, the day, the night that you deserve. So mote it be. Send that shit back. So, anyways, I'm sharing information to people who actually are needing some understanding. So, fuck off. If you're not here to be part of the conversation, fuck off. What is it? There's this one artist. She says she has this song, and she's hella funny. She's like, um, I don't care what you say. Leave me alone. If you don't like it, go suck a dick, but get off my phone. You know, it's just like, tell someone who cares, because I don't. You can suck a dick and get off my phone. Like this, bro. Go take it up. If you're really that offended, go take it up. Go to church. Go talk to your priest or your whoever, bro. Like, but get the fuck out. Get the fuck on. Get on down the road, as my grandpa used to say. You don't belong here. Get on down the road. I didn't tell you you could be here. No one invited you. Get out. So, anyways, so this is part of what it is some of these people are just really this disruptive. And when they're low vibrational and low frequency like this, like they're in adult beings, but they're acting like fucking teenagers, these are the type of people that the entities love to hop. That's the reality, right? And so you got to understand if you're still, for me, I was like, like when all this stuff was happening, and people are like, well, you should really like call your mother, she's having a hard time. I was like, that's crazy. I don't want to match energy, but at the same time, like nobody called me, nobody sent me $1 or a cent when I got fucking hit in the face and ran over and drugged behind a truck and was in bed for like a year and a half, couldn't fucking walk, had to rehabilitate myself, almost lost my foot. Still, no, couldn't send me $1 or a cent. So now you're hurting. Oh, you're hurting. Oh, you need me to come and coddle you? No, I'm done mothering people. I'm done protecting people. I'm done feeling bad or letting them use me as a empathetic like fucking trash rag. You know what I'm saying? No, you know, we at some point in time we have to understand that regardless of our connection or how long we've known people, that not everything that they suggest to us or tell us that we should do, should we laugh about or get on board with, right? Like I know my, Mr. Y, the previous partner, um, I know a lot of people, he listened to all these other people because he's very easily influenced. And that's your fault. Like I told you not to hang out with shitty ass trash people, but like you wanted to fucking let their shit run in their ear because they're just like, oh, well, you don't want to let a woman tell you something. Well, really? Because who was actually on your side? Who was actually giving you that good feedback versus who was literally trying to attack your well-being? And that's kind of another way you can know. If you're not super in tune with your intuition, kind of tune in, like, because a lot of people, even if they are your really good friend, they're jealous. They are jealous. They're envious. You say the same thing, Ty. Hello, everybody. Um, a lot of people are like, you don't deserve that blessing. You don't deserve that happy ending. You don't deserve to just have that person, because if you have that one person, then we're not gonna be able to feed off of your energy. We're not gonna be able to suck the empathy out of you like we are the fucking oil out of the earth. You know what I'm saying? And that's basically the reality, is not everybody wants you to win, even if they pretend like they're on your team. And that's why I related it to when people steal something from you and then they're like, oh, and you're like, where did it go? And they're like, oh, what'd you do? Where did it go? Let me help you look for it. Like, that's some fucking real deal, like sinister, like manipulative ass tweaker ass shit right there, where they're just going to be they're going to be pretending like they're on your team, but they're not. Now, I picked up on a lot of this, especially happening with divine masculine and divine feminines, is their best friends, and their family and stuff like this. It's like they're the ones putting other people in between. They're the ones being like, "Oh, well, they've always been like this. Oh, you don't really, you know what I'm saying?" And the thing is they're getting people they're trying to get people on board with their hatred, with their jealousy, with their envy. So especially with smear campaigns and shit like this. If you're like, what the fuck? Like, contact that person, right? Contact that person. Because the where I'm at right now is like, I've been under attack, I've been handled, I've been groomed, I've been all this stuff, traffic, like my entire life. So the way that I lay it out at this point is, if someone can't call me directly and fucking have a conversation with me, but they can talk about me, they're fucking possessed by demonic entities. Number one, if you are somebody's friend and you don't have the capacity to fucking give them a call, you're not their fucking friend. You're jealous. 100%. It's basically like two ways that it boils down. Either they took a payout to participate in the smear campaign against you, against the collective, to make them feel some type of way, to where they would fucking buckle or want to unalive themselves or be in a state of depression or be in a state of disillusionment or whatever. Or they're just fucking evil, jealous fucks. Either way, like for me, all of my shit is blocked and locked and all of this stuff, right? My emails and all this dumb shit. And my phone and stuff like this. But if someone actually has a good intention, right? Then it just comes right out. Yeah, Paul. Same, bro. Same, only different. Because they can feed off of our energy. They can feed. If you're a chosen one, if you're like highly empathetic, if you're clairsentient, clairaudient, clairvoyant, if you're a seer, if you're a healer, if you're some type of an ascended master or working towards that, it's like they will literally attack you. And it's not necessarily. I'm not necessarily saying some of them are really fucked up. You're right, 100%. They are just they are attempting to attack you because they're feeding off your life force. And look, it gives me goosebumps because they're feeding off of that energy. However, some of them, because they're so low frequency and because they're not actually supportive of your happy ending, of you receiving your blessings, they can be fucking body snatched. And they will then start to become. So it's not necessarily saying that all of these people were always evil or had ill will or harm or intent to you, right? This is why I love being like a triple Scorpio, because the fucking my cutoff game is fucking strong, right? Yeah, Scorpios are like, nah, I can't unsee what you showed me. Deuces. You know what I'm saying? Another thing that is really important for people to know is, like, for instance, if people manipulated you, if they lied, if they attacked, if they didn't fucking show up, if they were unsupportive, if you asked for help and they fucking mocked or belittled, or they participated in smear campaigns or any of this other stuff, right? And then all of a sudden they're like, "Hey, what up?" Not you. What up? What up? What up? What up, Fosta? So not you, but I'm just saying, when they're just like, "Oh, what's up? Oh, you should call these people. Oh, you need to contact." No, these people are narcissists. These people are attackers. These people are fucking heinous and evil. And no, I don't need to contact them. If they want something from me, they can contact me, and they can start with a motherfucking apology. Fucking period. Period. Because otherwise, it's just reinstating that narcissistic abuse loop. It's just reinstating that manipulation. So for me, I'm just like, okay, if somebody blocked me, if somebody ghosted me, if somebody told me fuck you, if somebody acted angry, if somebody whatever, do you know, like, I'm not gonna go. I'm gonna stop chasing. I'm not a pick me, pick me, pick me, pick me. Like, I don't need motherfucking attention that bad. Like, I ain't fucking lonely. I ain't sad. I ain't ostracized. I could care less. I'm good with myself. If you are lonely when you are alone, then you have not sat with your own shit, and you need to sit and fucking do some digger deeping or some deeper digging, something like this. I'm sorry, hold on. What are you guys saying? You have not have to, but you should hear your story. It will blow your mind. You're a Scorpio. Same here with the cutoff. Get, bro, like you're just like, it's like we forgive and forgive and forgive and forgive and forgive. It's like, so if a Scorpio all of a sudden just cut, and people are like, but I don't understand why they all of a sudden cut me off. It doesn't have to be something that you did right now. It can be that they found out that you were fucking talking shit. It can be that they all of a sudden had that premonition, that intuition, and they were like, you you fuck my partner, and you fucking y'all lied to me about it, like the fuck. And then there's like boop, 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 classy block, boop, keeping it classy. We're not doing that. 0%. I love this guy. Um, but that's basically what it boils down to, right? Is it's like sometimes when you just all of a sudden have that epiphany, you're like, ah, and then you're like, wait a second, let me sit on it, let me meditate on it. Like, is this really what's going on? And it's like a hard yes. You're like, oh, all right, no. Because here's the thing, if somebody actually is your friend, and if somebody does value your friendship, right? They're gonna be like, yo, did you block me on purpose, or was that an accident? I'm confused. Just just asking, right? And if they don't respond, or they act like a bitch or whatever, then whatever. Then you can deal with it like that. But if you don't reach back out, if you don't like refriend the person, if you don't be like, bro, like, are you cool? Are you feeling all right? Like, is there, is there something that I did that made you feel some type of way? Because like we're homies, like we cool, right? Like, I don't understand. That's normal. That's a fucking friend. That's support. You We can only really move forward. I mean, you can do whatever you want. We have free will. But you can only really move forward with the people that choose to actually show up for you, that choose to actually support you. And we're going to see a lot of that right now. Who's authentic and who's not? Who's hanging out with you because clout, because your energy, because of your support and not their support. And yeah, Scorpios are totally like that. Paul, you should definitely hit me up on the information in my information box below. You should definitely hit me up in what do you call it, on Instagram, on one of my Instagrams. Message me over there because they have me blocked on so many fucking places. But yeah, I'd love to hear your story, because like the reality is, or or get on and make a little YouTube and start sharing your story, because what you're gonna realize, right? As much as people are like, shut up, shut up, shut up, collective. The reason why they want us to shut up is because they don't want us sharing our story. They're so used to Scorpios just being like, and not just Scorpios, just collective, generally being these compassionate, loving souls that are just like, you know what? They're the bigger person. We're always the bigger fucking person. And you know what? I ain't trying to be petty, but I fucking can. Don't try me. Petty Ruck's been like a motherfucker. If you really ask for it, like, we're gonna go there. I'm much more grown, so I don't need to like attack or hate or be vindictive. No, 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 no. But just a little patty for fun, just to dish it back a little bit. Okay. But no. Past that, no. Um, yes, fake ass people. Yes, that's right. Apologies. That it's simple. If you did something, if you know you did something, you're like, fuck. Because here's what happens. When somebody cuts somebody off, right? The first thing the person thinks of, whether you want to admit it or not, is like, did I do something? Did I do that? Did I do something to that person? Did I do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're just like, what did I actually do? But if you value that person, then you would be like, is this an accident? Or do you want to talk about it? Like, I'm here if you want to vent, if you want to bitch me out, whatever. Like, because I still want to be like, what, same team or no? And that is a choice that people are choosing. They're either concurring with your decision, or they're saying, yo, bro, there's too many ways to contact people, even through other, like, there's too many ways to not, if people want to be in your life, they will be. They will make that known and you will feel it. You will feel the intention clearly, just period. So, yeah. But a lot of people like, oh, she's the collective's going fucking ape shit, and they're just like they're angry and they hate it. People are like, you're angry. I'm like, bro, I'm not angry. I'm not fucking bitter. I am so clear. I have never been more clear in any point in my life. I am fucking clear and I can see. Not only clear, I'm a seer. I seen the shit that you did. I felt your intentions and I didn't like the way you fucking moved. Now I'm giving you the opportunity to make that apology, to own your shit and to move differently if you want to be on the same boat. If not, stay at the shore, stay on the dock. You know what I'm saying? You're either on the train or you're fucking at the station. You're either on the dock or you're on the boat, bro. You can't stand 2 feet. You're gonna be like until you fall into the deep. You know what I like? You're gonna have to get there at some point in time. So if you cut somebody off and they don't do anything, like that's just what it is. Like when my other friend, I consider her my auntie. She's like, well, all these people. I was like, bro, there's 25 motherfucking adults in my family. And if somebody was sick and dying, I'm the fucking healer. They always call me when they're like, what do I need to do because this is wrong? But then when there's something seriously wrong, like not a motherfucker can hit me up until it's time for a fucking funeral, like deuces. Like y'all are hiding something. Y'all were putting some bad shit out and that shit came back. And I feel it. And I'm not gonna join the manipulation, your little fucking circle of fucking hate. Like, not gonna do it. Not today, Satan. Not tomorrow. Not anymore this lifetime. Deuces. Have a nice life. May you have the eternity that you deserve. From me to you. Smoochy boochies. Fuck you. I love you, but you got to go. Yeah, like asking me if I wanted to meet an alien had to leave that guy trying to show me my future self. I mean, it's a choice, right? Like we're all we are all kind of alien for me, when I was channeling, so I'm a channeler, right? So when I was channeling like these very far past lives, like all these different alien species, like don't cancel me, hear me out for a minute. And I was channeling all of this, my past partner was like, we always like understood each other on that. But when I was like, oh, this is where we were in this timeline and blah 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 blah, and he was like, why are you so stuck in the past? Be present, be present, be in the. And I'm like, because the reason why it's coming up is not for nothing, right? It's here to bring back something to remind us of what it is that we need to know. But people being like, you want to see your future self, your future fucking self, there's no way to actually see your future self. Let's just be real about that. Because while we're still in this duality and this third density, and we're moving between the third and the fifth and the sixth densities and fourth, like every time we have thousands of choices every day. We have free will, like throughout every moment of every day. And because of that, anything can happen. There's so many extenuating factors that can play into it. Like somebody was like, yeah, but you're a psychic and you knew that this was going to happen and you knew blah, 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 blah. And you know that your future, you know that these things are going to happen in your life. So how come you didn't know this? And I'm just like, bro, if I know, right, like let's say I know who my divine counterpart is, right? And I know that we come together or whatever this is, right? I know that these things can happen. It doesn't necessarily mean that it will, and it doesn't necessarily mean that it's my purpose to make sure that it does. It's just a potential. There's infinite amounts of potential, right? But there's also free will. So I cannot dictate what the other person chooses, what the other person's free will is. Uh, I cannot change. I mean, I guess I could do weird fucking spell work like these other asshats out there and be like, oh, you will love this person and you will meet on that. Like, bro. And people are like, well, how do you know all these crazy things like 5 years, 10 years, 20 years before they happen, but you don't know like where your person is or when you're supposed to make it's like, bro, do you understand? Like if I I could access that, but then if I did, I wouldn't be able to have the ability to help other people because I would be using it selfishly instead of selflessly. And if I knew every fucking thing that was going to happen, yes, I am an oracle for sure. But if I knew everything that was going to unfold for myself, then wouldn't my purpose of being alive and having this human experience, a spiritual being having a human experience, be like, what? What would be the purpose? Like if you've achieved all your stuff, if you know everything, if you already whatever, then like you would be dead. Most likely, you'd be like, all right, I fulfilled my mission here. I'm out. Like, the fuck? No. It's about this journey, right? It's not about the destination, it's about the journey. So a lot of people get caught up on that, like, oh well, I prayed and I prayed for my like, yeah, but are you praying like are you manifesting and are you doing your work towards are you choosing decisions that are bringing you towards that or are you still fucking every whatever along the way until this actual counterpart shows up? If they show up, then I'll stop running all these whores. That's not how it works. Are you making the proper space or are you filling that space with bullshit is really what it boils down to. And, it's a choice. People just either get to decide or not decide, but it's free will, right? And when people start working with these darker levels of magic and other things like this, they are literally manipulating people's free will. And this is like the number one thing against like magic energy is you cannot fuck with people's free will. Are you able to? Yes. But should you? Absolutely not, because there is repercussions, very intense repercussions. So, for instance, let's say Divine Masculine's best friend is jealous and angry and lustful of Divine Feminine, and they put some weird fucking spell work out there. Then everything that Divine Masculine loves is going to start to wither away around them. And they're going to be like, see, this is what happens when you just put more energy towards Divine Feminine. No, this is what happens when fucking jealous psycho people that you thought you could trust really are more selfish. They don't want you to have that happy ending. There's no other way to shake it. But it's just it is what it is. And I feel bad. I feel bad for the people that this energy is coming back towards. Nobody wants anybody to hurt or to suffer, but the reality is like you did that to yourself also. Like I'm not going to sit here and use my empathy to coddle people. It's like you did it to yourself. So why are you playing the victim? You did that to Divine Masculine. You did that, whatever. So you need to cop the fucking truth. These people need to apologize. They need to fucking come forthright about it. And the thing is people that are severely like narcissistic, Machiavellianism, psychopathic, whatever, um, that are suffering from psychopathy and all these other things. The reality is like that's their nightmare. This is my nightmare, is to actually have to admit who they are, is to be seen for who they really are, for their dark intentions, for their hatred, for their distaste, for all the bullshit that they're putting out. And that is what it boils down to. Is it's like some of these people would rather take it to their fucking grave than just come out and be like, you know what? Yeah, I've literally been attacking you for years. I've literally been secretly jealous of you your whole life. I've literally gone out of my way to ruin every time before you succeed, but some people won't. And again, that is their choice. That is their free will choice. But if you're doing things that are fucking with other people's free will, know that you're going to start losing all the things that you love, all the blessings that you're blocking. And here's the thing. they don't realize that they're blocking. So let's say the divine, right? The divine has created all of these blessings, a spiritual inheritance of sorts, right? Where it's like, oh, well, you get this partner, and oh, well, you get this thing, and you get that, and this is what you get, and you get this family, and you get this kid, whatever. So if these people are blocking that, then they're going to all of a sudden, maybe all of a sudden they have a kid that they didn't want. Maybe now they're pregnant because they blocked that, or maybe they lose their kid because they blocked that. They could have something super traumatic. Maybe they get pregnant and lose the kid. I don't really know. Like, but to each his own. But the ultimate feeling or intention, right? Their directive that they have towards collective, especially the chosen ones, like that shit will backfire and it will be very heavy because yeah, it's got to be transmuted. So unless they're like, listen, I'm going to transmute this energy by claiming it and apologizing and taking accountability, then it's just going to slowly start to fucking, like a parasite until everything around it, everything around divine masculine or divine feminine or everything around that person has been taken and they've lost everything and everything has been affected. That's just what it is. Because these people didn't want them to have this. They didn't want them to have that. They whatever. They wanted you to be out. They wanted you to be broke. They wanted you to be crazy. They wanted you to be destitute. They wanted you to be alone. They didn't think that you deserved that love. They didn't want you to have that divine union, that marriage, that child, that whatever it is. Like they're going to see that that's going to fucking backlash. If you don't have a child, your pet's going to go. Like it's just like that. It's just like that. And, people just got to really, be more aware of that. Starting a new relationship with a Cancer. She's previously married to Scorpions and it went south. You're enjoying it, feisty. Well, here's the thing. And this is why I don't do like specific sign readings anymore, because it's not just about your sun sign. It's your sun, your rising, your moon. Where is your Jupiter? Where is your Venus? Where is your Mercury? Where is your North Node? Because it's not just the one sign that goes. For me, I have so many cancers that I love around me. All of my favorite people, I would say my longest road dogs and all of this stuff. And also like good, yeah, feisty connections, um, and just support systems have been cancers. My grandmother was a Cancer. She was like the closest thing I had to a mother. And so if a Cancer can open up, then a Cancer's intense emotional state with Scorpio's depth of emotion and both of their needs for that can totally be. The thing is with Scorpios, if you betray us, if you lie, cheat, betray us, it's really like nearly impossible to come back from that. And like, yeah, it could potentially go south. If you start entertaining other things, like it doesn't work. It's like full on. It's like all or nothing. It's like either you're in and you're diving in the depths, you're going deep and can get as deep as you want to go, or you're surface level and you weren't really ready for it. But the thing is about Scorpios is if you're just really honest about it, if you're just like Scorpios love to fucking communicate. So if you have a problem, if you have, what I'm saying, like the reality is like the last person that I was with, if for instance he had done, he only had a couple rules. If he had been honest and been like, well, listen, you're gone for 5 months. And even though I knew that that was the thing, and I said I was going to be like this, like, actually, I'm feeling lonely. Like, I would like to go out and have some female, like, if there wasn't hiding and sneaking and blah, blah, if there was actually accountability, not after the fact, before the fact, that was the agreement, then it may have been a different scenario. If you actually were thinking of me as the first, not the second, like Scorpios will never be cool being a second or an afterthought. The second thought or an afterthought. That's a fucking hard no for a Scorpio. Like, no. No, ain't gonna happen. But keep enjoying it. Congratulations. Um, I can't get on board with AI. You ate pudding the other day. I had to laugh about it. That's funny. As funny as what was it? I was like trying to go to sleep last night, and then again, like this Prince video popped up on my feed, and I never know. Like I said, I'm still just like downloading more about Prince because it's been coming through so much the last year. Um, and it's like, what is it? The party king or something like this. And I'm like, all right, what is this? Right? Like a song. It's like, but he has his whole artistic videos or whatever. And he comes out and he's dressed like the motherfucking Joker. And I was like, this is fucking great, right? This is great. This is great. Because I feel a bit of that, people. I used to have somebody that was like, oh, you're just like Harley Quinn. And I was like, okay, Harlequin's tight, right? Like that makes sense. I can get on board with that because just like all the psychology, the sociology, the dealing with people that are fucking psychopathic and have crazy personality disorders and all this other shit, like I can kind of get with it. And then when I started like studying Harley more, I was like, wait a fucking minute. Like, what was this person saying? Why was this person saying that? Because she would just do anything. She would do anything for that, do anything for you, Putin. And he literally was a psychopath and was fucking stringing her along for that. And so when I realized that, I was like, fuck you, right? Because I had dyed my hair red and everybody loved the red. They're like, oh my God, it looks so normal. It's not like a crazy color. Like it actually really suits you and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, fuck this shit, right? I went deep and then I bleached my hair again and I dyed it like this fucking Joker ass green. And everybody's like, why did you do the green? And I was like, because the Joker controls the spice. you know? But like, um, yeah, he's a whole nother level of like very complex mind play. But yeah, the thing is about the Joker, I've seen a lot of this coming through, and a lot of people kind of mocking me a bit as being the Joker or this and that, because I would wear like bright lipstick and then the blue and the colors and shit like this. And I was just like, whatever, right? Like, go ahead. I don't care. Like, he was a very skilled, clever motherfucker. Now, he was psychotic and did like to hurt people. And that, yeah, I can't really get on board with that so much. But I wish you guys luck. They're trying to put women in your life. Yeah, last night you walked, and this is what you're gonna find. Like every time stupid people fucking come up or they try to put them, you're just like, the distaste, Paul. If you're a divine counterpart, you have a divine counterpart, you'll be like, what are you doing? And they will literally be like, pick me's, pick me, pick me, pick me. And they'll just be like, it's like it will be too good to be true. You're like, huh? Like, what the fuck is this? Right? What is this? Um, actually I had a very interesting um thing today that I wanted to share, and then before I digress. Um, So I went and I was sitting. I had my cat and I obviously were on an adventure, and I was at like the spot that I really like. I was like, oh, I'm going into the city, from the village to the city. I was like, I want to eat some fucking white person food, like some all this like lean green salad. It's got like all these different green beans and broccoli and kale and spinach and blah 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 blah. It's like everything in there, right? And I'm like, I ordered the salad and I'm sitting there with the coconut, and there's this guy sitting at a table like farther in front of me. And he's very handsome. He had a nice body or whatever too. He's like there because it's fucking hot. We're in Bali, right? A subtropic climate here. And he's just he's in his shorts, but he's like upstairs outside. He's not like inside in the air con, he's just like absorbing, right? And after he got up, he was there before I got there. And after he got up, he like turned and he looked at me and I looked at him and we both smiled at each other like, and then he like went to the bathroom and he washed his hands and then he turned around and he saw my cat. My cat was like going towards him. And I was like, that's so weird because everybody else that's walked up here, my cat's fucking freaked out about, right? And I was like, that's so interesting. She likes you. And he's like, oh, that's your cat. And I was like, yeah, yeah. I was like, it's crazy. I was like, she's been running away from everybody. And so, anyways, the guy goes to leave, right? He goes to leave and he walks out the door, like out this door where the stairs go down, and he like stops and he like comes back and he starts walking back towards me, right? And I'm always wearing my headphones because I'm just like, everybody leave me the fuck alone. And he comes walking over to me with this very nice smile, just like very like, you know what? No, no, fuck that shit. Like, I'm gonna go back and get homegirl's information, right? And so he comes back, and as he's like coming to approach the table, like I just take the headphones off. I'm just like, props, props. That's hot because you're like, you know what? I don't know if I'll ever actually talk to you again, but I don't want to have that. I wonder what would have happened if I actually like hung out with that person again, you know? So like he's like, "Can I get your contact or can I give you my contact?" And I was like, "Okay, yeah." I was like, "For sure. For sure." And like he was very good. He's like, "I'm sorry." He's like, "My English is like I'm not really speaking very good English." I was like, "Yeah, I don't mind." I was like, "What language do you speak?" I was like, "Okay, I don't know that language." But you know, doesn't mean anything, right? Because a vibe is a vibe. And that's what I'm saying is as you're vibrating higher at a higher frequency, you're going to start to have people that are just naturally coming to you. They're going to be attracted to that. Now you are going to have a lot of also maybe weirdos that are attracted to you or come towards you because your light is very bright. But the thing is the effort, just a little gesture effort. It's just like could vibe on it. You're just like vibing on it. And I was like, I wasn't even looking like I didn't have any makeup or whatever. I was wearing like a scarf with my hat all sideways, like just like, and he was just like, but it's a vibe, right? And so the thing is when people get placed in your direction, like it just doesn't feel it feels uncomfortable. You're just like, I don't really know, right? Like I tried to do my friend's like, you just need to fucking just go on like Bumble, go on the dating site, right? And so I started it like a while ago. And then like probably the end of last year, I was like, all right, I'll do it just because everybody's like harassing me because they thought that I was just like angry or bitter or lonely or something. And I was like, no, bro, like I'm chilling. Like I don't mind being with myself. I spent 6 years on a boat by myself in the ocean. I was chilling. Like I'm cool. Like I'm good. Like I am great company. And so, anyways, I did it, and then I was just like, "Fuck this dumb shit!" Like, I don't want to listen to people like, what are you doing? What's up? Oh, you're hot. Oh, nice jug. Whatever, dumb, stupid shit like this. So yeah, so I put my link on my YouTube and I was like, listen, if you guys want to join the conversation, if you can deal with the conversation and you still want to hang out and you feel like you can have a comprehensive conversation with me because I like to converse deeply, then go ahead. You can find my Instagrams and you can fucking directly message me. Like that's the best I can do because I'm not playing these games and I'm not paying for fucking data. Like the fuck? Hell no. And the more that I realize like just going out, right? Just being out and just being in your own energy, like people will naturally be attracted. And if you're vibrating super high, I think that the lower vibrational people won't actually be able to approach you. So that's basically like what I'm intuitively picking up on as far as how things are going in life right now is like if people aren't like attempting to communicate with me, that maybe they're lower frequency, maybe they're you know have a demonic attachment, or maybe they're just not meant to be in my realm, just something like that. So you know, but there's nothing, can I just say to all the dudes out there, there's nothing hotter than a dude actually making the effort, right? Like you can give a nod or a smile and that's cool, but like if you receive it back, then like make an action. It doesn't, you don't even have to say, like he was like he couldn't even really say anything. He was like, and then he was like, my English isn't good. And I was just like, oh, it's all good, and he kind of like laughed. He was like, okay, cool. He understood that as he came over, he didn't actually, it was like hard for him to maybe like say something, but he was just like, can, like, Maybe can we connect again later? I'm just like, yeah, for sure. Like because the effort or the energy, most of the time, unless people are total fucking cunts, they're not going to be like, as if, get the fuck out of my face. Like, do you think, like, I mean, at least me, I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. I love to give people the benefit of the doubt. If you actually had the balls to come over and speak to me, to ask me something, it may have been a lot of fear. So, like, yeah, like, I'm willing to talk to you. I'm willing to hang out, or, whether it ever happens, I don't know. But I'm just sharing a little story, right? Because I think it's important for people to sometimes like take that little risk, right? Like, part of me was like, you're going to give this dude your information. And then I'm just like, I mean, at some point, you have to take a risk. You have to be willing to accept that. Now, does it mean you're like, oh, yeah, this is going to be the person? No, I don't think so. But sometimes we have to be like, all right, well, let me see. Like, I'll maybe talk to this person, I'll hang out, and you'll know energetically, you'll know if the vibration is in alignment or not. That's just basically what it boils down to. It's just that simple, you know? Um, she doesn't want a mom, but she calls herself a mom because she cooks for you. Interesting. Um, It's their mission for some past lifers. And yes, so to come back around before we digress too much, yes, you're right, Paul. So some people are literally have been our enemies, or um, have kept us in these loops, these generational curses, or these generational traumatized loops, or whatever, karmic loops. And like, this is kind of what I saw, right? I was like, oh shit, I've seen this. And then I saw, like, I had the premonition of how things are playing out with different people. And I was like, whoa, okay, so I'm not going to do the same thing, that I'm not going to do the first thing that I felt prompted to do, because that could be connected to some type of karmic whatever. So I'm going to switch it up. I'm not saying no. I'm just saying, okay, I'm not going to be the subservient chaser this lifetime around, because I see that that's what's happened. All of the women that were in my family previously were very, um, very powerful, and they became somewhat subservient to their partner, their children, their whatever, to becoming this. And it's not saying that they weren't all very good um, women and that they didn't raise good children or something like this. But the reality is they all had very successful careers prior, and then they were fucking nothing after, and they were left, or they were whatever, treated some type of way. um and even my grandfather, that I tell you guys all the time, that is like my father, like, he was not like, he took care of my grandmother, but he was also a fucking asshole to her, like, a lot. Like, he spent, like, after she passed, he spent a lot of years like doing all of the things that she was like begging him to do, that he was like being like, you know stick it up, and part of it was, is like, they were Marines together, right? And he didn't want to, it's like some part of his ego didn't want to admit that she had been hurt, like she was physically hurt, and she was having ailments. But I actually think a lot of it, now that I understand a lot more, was probably due to spell work. A lot of it, if people are in Masonic groups and stuff like that, right? He's a very high level, like 33-degree Mason, whatever, depending on the degree of the Mason, like that will come back on the females within your family. So for me, understanding that, and understanding this is a repetitious cycle, we do understand that these are some people's missions, to keep you in that loop, to keep feeding off of your energy, or to keep you in that stuck position. And that is what they do. And so sometimes we have people that come and they're like our best friends, and then they can become our worst enemies, and not to our face, but because they actually have some type of soul contractual agreement that is just part of maybe a generational curse, or some karmatic bullshit that we aren't really aware of this lifetime, because they're looking different this lifetime, because the situation is different this lifetime. So yeah, it's very interesting. Um, am I a guy? No, I'm not a guy. I am not naked. I live in subtropic climate. It's like, is it 8 or 9 p.m. here where I am? It's 9 p.m. and it's still like 35 degrees Celsius. Or no, it's about 33 degrees Celsius. So it's about, I don't know, what is that? Like 80, 86 degrees Fahrenheit. No, I've been running around all day. I have a top on. You guys can see it. I turned off the light because I just don't like the bright ass light, to be completely honest with you. Yeah, I'm running a feet naked. No, on YouTube. No, fucking, I don't do that anyways. That's some weird shit. Um, you should have known. Yeah, Scorpio power. What's up, Alchemy Sun? Foster, you never paid attention to that. She's cool, but she's been hurt by us before. I mean, everybody's been hurt by everybody before. And this is the thing is people really have to understand that not every person that is that sign is going to do the same thing that that last sign did. For me, it took me about, for instance, it took me about six six or seven different Tauruses for me to be like, nah, it's a hard no for me. Not because we don't get along, not because, like actually the contrast is pretty good. We're on opposite ends of the zodiac, and so the contrast is good. Like they were good partners, good business part, and things like this until they got what they wanted. Right? They will use and use and use and use and use and never actually really return because they are all about ego. They're all about self fulfillment, self gratification, and so for me, that's just a hard no. Same with my mother's husband, my stepfather is same. They're just very childish, very they want to attack. They're very vindictive. They're very whatever. And yeah, it took me having like maybe six or seven of them in my life in different positions till I was like, like, do I hate all of them? No, I give people the benefit of the doubt from the beginning. But for me, I'm like, it's a hard no. Like, it's a hard no on dating them again. Um, for me, for instance, I have a lot of good Pisces friends, but they also, again, they are big time cheaters, right? I've dated a few and they're big time fucking cheaters. They're just like, oh, well, we're just living in the moment. And I'm just like, yeah, we can be friends. But then I also see like they need a lot more external validation. And even though we get along really well, like one of my oldest friends, not old, but like one of my friends that I've had since I was a teenager, we still talk like a couple times a week or like little chats. We send each other stuff and have little mini chats about astrology and stuff on Instagram. But um, you know, super cool, but we also understand the concept of each other's charts, and the type of thing. So just like, he's like, he was like, I think I fell in love with fucking this or that. I'm just like, did you check about this, and this? He's like, shit. He was like, you're so right. He was like, Pisces just get so lost in the first sauce. And I was like, and that's the point is like, they can be very floaty, So like, yeah, we can have a lot of fun together, but I don't know about again, it's not just about the one sign. It's not just about the sun sign. It's the whole chart. And people base so much off of the one fucking sign. Like a lot of people are like Scorpios are evil and they're hateful. And if you fuck them over, like if you fuck anybody over, I'm pretty sure they're gonna be pissed. It's just Scorpios are more attentive. And most of the time, they'll let it go unless you keep it going. Then you have it fucking coming. But the reality is this person needs to understand that not everybody is the same, right? Like my other friend, um, my really good friend, he's also a Scorpio. And he was like, well, if you were like this and you would be a little bit more open and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, listen, I have been nothing but open and nothing but loving to everybody. Now because I have been so fucking attacked and, trafficked and hurt and harmed and groomed and handled and all these things, like I need the actual man to actually make the effort. Like I'm not going to do it anymore. Like I'm not like unless somebody is like at this point I'm like, listen, unless somebody's gonna write me a fucking like page essay on why they're interested in being with me, or unless I feel that from their vibration, or unless they have something to show me, right? Unless their actions speak louder than their words because they're at a loss for words, like it's a no. It's a hard no for me because I just had enough people that love to fucking breadcrumb, right? And Scorpios are super loyal. We are like the most loyal fucking sign you will ever fucking meet. We are the ride or die, like literally. So it's not that Scorpios hurt her, like maybe, but that person has to understand I'm not that person. And the best way that you can fix that is by letting them know, listen, I understand, right? Show some compassion. I understand that you've been hurt by many other Scorpios in the past, but they're not me and I'm not that person. And I am going to be here and we're here together and we're in this together. And I'm going to be here to help, not convince you, but to, you know, support, support your process and healing that, you know, for all like maybe it could end up being really good, or maybe you're the actual Scorpio that comes in and heals that Scorpio wound. Also is potential, right? We don't know, but things are shifting now. So if people are really showing up or entering now, it can be, right? So it's just teach its own, but there's so much more than just our sun sign. Our sun sign really, it's just a sign we're born under. To be honest, your rising sign is more of what you project to the external world. So that's more of how people are seeing or feeling you. So if she's like, well, your birthday's now, so I don't trust that, you know, where is your moon? Your moon is your secret self. Your rising is the sign that you appear to the rest of the world, the way that the rest of the world is seeing or feeling or reading you. So it's kind of important, you know. um what are Capricorns like? Capricorns are very motivated. Hey, Willy Wonka, tight name, what's up? um Capricorns are very motivated. Capricorns are an earth sign, so they are very fixated on success, on money, business. Like they would probably be really great accountants. They'd be really great, to make things happen, right? Um, Also, same with Aries. Aries are very fucking like they never stop. They're just like boom, boom, boom. Like they're fucking standing on business, but they can be petty as fuck. Um, Capricorns can be super manipulative as well. But I mean, again, any any sign. I just know that Capricorns they love to see what they can get away with. My grandfather was a Capricorn. My mother, my grandfather, my uncle, one of my longest friends from when I've been a teenager also. Um, you know, they're very clever though, very saucy. You're a healer too. You didn't know that this is what's happening to people other than you. Thank you. Yeah, and so this is why I was telling to Paul before, right? Like sometimes, look, it gives me so many goosebumps, you guys. Maybe you can see, maybe you can't. But sometimes just us being like, okay, share what we're experiencing or sharing our story, because sometimes it's just a confirmation that other people need to be like, oh my God, I'm not alone, right? Oh my God, you're experiencing that too. Like, fuck, I thought I was going ape shit. No, you're not. You're not, um, Natalie Garrett. You're totally not going ape shit. It's just people, where there's so much that's changing right now, and everything that was isn't going to continue, and everything that is about to become something else, right? We're in this major shift, right? They call this what is it? Uh, Bhutan's basket, right? The astrology is basically all of the outer planets are literally coming in right now. So all of the things that have been hidden, all of these other things, the deep dark shit where we're like, wait a second, this is how things are ordered. Like this is a revolutionary transit. So people moving forward without their actual truth and authenticity is huge. Now, the thing is, whatever whoever was saying about this, right, is like Scorpios are very private people. We're very, people say we're very secretive, and it's not necessarily that we're secretive, it's that we protect our inner being, right? Because we're doing so much transmutation, right? If you came to this life as a Scorpio, you came here to get your ass fucking handed to you over and over and over and over and over again to clear some fucking cosmic fucking karma for sure. That's without a doubt. So we're kind of like, don't bullshit us or you're gonna fuck around and find out. Not from us, but fucking may you have the life you deserve type shit, right? And our conviction, our energy, because we've gone to the depths, we've gone to the underworld, we've fucking dug ourselves out of the trenches time and time again. It makes it a little bit complicated for people to be surface level with us. We're just super fucking deep. And the thing is Cancerian, right? They're like the crab. So they have a very uh hard, like a shell, like an external shell, but they're very soft on the inside. And I think that Scorpios are a little bit similar to that, to where it's like, no, we're actually very gentle, very loving creatures, but that's not for everybody, right? Because if we gave our inner being, our secret self to everybody, then you wouldn't get to experience it. So everybody gets to experience a different version of Scorpio. Whatever, however the people are to Scorpio is the version that they get. So if you're manipulative, if you're breadcrumbing, if you're a bitch, like the version of Scorpio you're gonna receive back is gonna fucking, you know what I'm saying? But if you're kind, if you're supportive, if you're like, all right, I don't understand, like, yeah, I think you're a little crazy, but I'm here to hear you out. And like Scorpio will open up more. I think it's similar with Cancers. It's just, I think that they don't have the same capacity. It's like they're either closed off, or when they open, they're just kind of like, ah, and it becomes emotional. So, and then how I feel like Cancers respond to that is kind of like in the way of like, well, I think many people actually, not just Cancers, but I think many people, like once they let out some of their inner, more personal stuff, it becomes this, um, like, now you can hurt me, now you know. And so sometimes we keep ourselves too protected, you know? Sometimes we keep ourselves too protected. True, Paul. Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, fuck AI, bro. Like, I'm just saying, we just need to fucking cut that shit off for a bit. Like, I saw some people, I was thinking about this today because people are like, there's a solution. There's a solution to not use water for the data. Like, why do we need the fucking data centers? Tell me why we need them. Tell me. Tell me, so they can monitor us more. You want the digital IDs to come through faster, or do you want to fuck that? Do you want to anarchy? You know what I'm saying? Do you want to fuck that program, or do you want to run that program? Because I ain't trying to run that program. I don't know about all y'all, but for me, that's a hard no. I'm not trying to run that program. So until we've figured out some other ways to kind of limit or monitor down or hone in the AI, like we need to chill out on it, because again, AI is not reading your fucking aura. It's just, it wants to know what you're susceptible to. Everyone's programming it for free, essentially. And what they're doing is they're looking at your internal, your your psyche, your mental state, like I'm not saying no technology or no AI. I'm just saying really like the majority of it, like we need to chill the fuck out on it for a bit, like especially now, just because we want to move towards an organic, you know, it's artificial intelligence, which means it's been created by us, by us. Like we are organic intelligence. We are the original. So everything that it's doing is already because of a conceptualization that we created, that we already thought of, and that we programmed into it. And now we're get like my fucking why, why, I don't know why, but it's like, oh, I named it fucking God. And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? And he's like, well, you named yours Einstein. And I was like, yeah, because I was joking, because motherfucker can access all this information, you know, because it's smart, because it can tap into all the information that everybody's giving it, all the information that's input in books and online and whatever. But I'm not calling it God. Like, what the fuck? You're literally creating a monster. Like, I can't get on board with that. I cannot get on board with that. Yeah, party like it's 1999. Do, 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 do. You were the Joker 1 year at Halloween. That's tight. That's my birthday. You are stunning. Oh, thank you so much. Wings of the future. Thank you. Smoochies. I really appreciate that. You make me blush. Oh, look, there's like light on the cheeks. That's cute. I mean, learn how to be all of the um well, that went kind of intense. Wings of the future. You gotta, this is not the chat to hit on me, but you can feel free to message me on one of my Instagrams, okay? I don't know what to say that I'm not gonna repeat that out loud. It's hidden, so hopefully everybody else can't see that. Who cares what people think? Everyone's got opinions. Unless you know them, who cares? You know, opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one, but no, we don't always want to hear or smell what they're putting out. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because you got one doesn't mean everybody needs to be privy to whatever's coming out. Huh. You think it'll be worth waiting for? Yes, Paul. So a lot of I was picking up on this also earlier today, Paul, that a lot of the chosen ones, like, oh my God, it gives me so many goosebumps. It's crazy. Ooh, my whole body. So the thing is the divine is blessing those. The divine is blessing those that are sticking to their guns, right? That are like, I know what is and what isn't in alignment with me. Like when people are like, well, what are you looking for? I'll know. I'll know. I'll know. I will be able to, like, it's a vibe. You can't imitate a fucking vibe. Like people can say whatever you want. They can say, "Oh, I love this because you love that," and "Oh, this and oh that," and da, 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 and "Oh, let me hook you up," and blah blah blah. But like, you're gonna know. Now, does it mean that you shouldn't potentially, like, this is a spot that I'm at, right? Because I'm just like, well, divine masculine has free will, right? So if him and all of his friends and his workers and everybody, like, for instance, I did my best to be supportive, to give love, to reach out, to do as much as I could. And then I came to the understanding, like last year, that, like, actually that's me being more in my masculine than in my feminine, right? Because that's what it was. And so the reality is like I expressed my love, my want, my this, my that, and he blocked me. He had other people block me. He ghosted me. He all these other things. Like I tried to contact him, like I couldn't. I had other people contact him, and he freaked out. And so I just said, okay, I because he was just like, I'm not in all that spiritual shit. Like I like to be in the dirt and stuff like this. And I was like, you know, and this is even my previous partner fucking called him and was like, listen, like, I feel like you guys need to be together. Like, he's like, it's crazy. We had this channeling and like, it was fucking hardcore. And he was like, so angry. And he's like, why don't you call him back? And I was like, I'm respecting people's boundaries. Do you understand? Because he was, didn't sound, he was really upset. Now, he was upset because he was saying that I was a thief and a liar, which is bullshit. And I tried to call a bunch of people to try to talk to uh this other dude, right? This I have this ex, and they're very very close friends, and I know that he actually came out here to Bali, and that motherfucker did some weird fucking spell work, and so I try to contact a bunch of people and be like, please, can someone give me Essie's number because I know he did some weird shit, and what's happening is I'm seeing all the backfire. So please, can someone like I need to talk to him, not because I want to be buddies with him, but because he is putting some type of interference out of jealousy. It's the same reason why he went straight psychopath on me. Because when he saw that we had a connection, it was like, if I can't have you, then he can't either. No one can. And he literally tried to bury me inside of the mountain over it. Like, he fucking beat the shit out of me. Like, it's literally what traumatized me. I've been on a fucking, I mean, I was traumatized before that, but I was just like moving through life. Like, after that, I was like, whoa, what the fuck? And I've literally been on the healing journey since that whole fucking incident, like full on. And like hardcore full on. Like really went to see like psychiatrists and all this other stuff because I had a friend that worked with uh, like she was certified. She was a certified nurse and stuff like this. And she was like, no, you're suffering severe PTSD. Like, this is CPTSD, right? This is complex fucking trauma. And you need to, I was like, no, 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 I'm chill, I'm chill, I'm chill. But the reality is, it was much deeper than that. And so the reality is I don't know whatever he fucking told this person, right? But like, I didn't steal anything. I didn't, I never lied about anything. Um, Never. If anything, every time that I've seen him, it's put me in a state of like like where you're like at a loss for words, like breathless. Like when I saw him at the end of last year, and I was like, if I ever see him again, I'm just gonna go run up to him. And then I was like sitting there, and someone brought him into this restaurant called Alchemy, and he had some like he looked like, I don't know if he had like cataracts or something in his eyes. I don't really know, but I realized that he couldn't really see. Someone was leading him in, and shout out Big T. And so, anyways, someone was leading him in, and when he sat there, it was like, like it was too much. It wasn't too much, but it was almost like I was almost going into it like a, like almost like a orgasmic state, to where I'm just like, oh, I cannot get out of the chair right now, like. And I could see, and he was like freaking out, and he was like, where is she, where? And he, because he looked right over at me, and I thought that he was like seeing me, because literally, even with whatever, even with his eyes looking straight white, like it was like he was looking right at me, and I was like, like some, like, what is that movie, like some Dracula shit, like when you feel something, when you feel somebody, that is like a strong connection to you. And even the dude that was with him was like, holy fucking shit, it's not a joke, like, this is real shit. But then I was like, well, is it, or was there some type of spell work, or I'm not really sure. And like, I don't know. Like, the last thing I tried to message him was like, I've done my best. Like, I don't know what to do. I've spent all these years trying to do healing work, and it doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter how much trauma. It doesn't matter that I lost 60% of my memory after getting hit in the face by a truck. Like, it really doesn't matter. Like, for some reason, like, you are the being that I can, like, it's like I remember everything like it was fucking yesterday, every moment that we ever shared, which I don't know if it's even like not even a lot, but like obviously it's through lifetimes. And so I'm just like, I've tried, like, I'm not trying to harass you. I'm not trying to creep you out. I'm not trying to make you feel uncomfortable. I just keep reaching out, because if you felt so compelled about somebody or something, like, wouldn't you do your best to just to try or to express that? And like, yeah, sometimes, like, even when we sat in front of each other, I could tell it's both, where we both experienced the same thing, where we didn't know what to say. We're just um like, because the feeling was so overwhelming. And it's not that, I don't think it's not that we weren't into each other. I think that it was just really that fucking overwhelming. It's gonna make me cry. Anyways, but yeah, like, people have free will, people have free will. And um yeah, it's just really weird because his worker out here, is a really amazing artist. And like I know that my family went and paid them to do some weird fucking spell work, and the worker's wife. And I didn't realize at first. I mean, I kind of did when I saw her like wearing the shirt that I know that my mother and her friend made. And I thought about it and I just kind of didn't because I was like sick and I was trying to hire a cleaner because I was like, I need fucking help because I'm just not feeling good. And I can't take care of everything because have traumatic brain injury. And she just like kept trying to send other people, but she came in and she did some fucking black magic. She did some weird fucking spell work. And then when I cleared that spell work from my house, it took me to a farm, and then it took me up to the workers' workshop that had been closed. And the whole thing had been like all the fields and stuff around him, the farms and everything. It was like these dragon fruit trees and these banana trees and all these farms and fields had been infected. They were infected. And what I was picking up on is that, and then some of it like caught on fire or whatever, and they were basically acting like I was putting evil spell work out. And I went there and I sat there and I like tuned into what was going on, and I looked up and I saw this bird cage, and I had seen like a little YouTube or a little Instagram video where he had released the bird. His worker had released the bird, his business partner, I guess, whatever, but had released the bird, um to let it free. And the bird went up in this tree because this tree, it was a vine there that was growing over the thing, and I had helped him like weave it into all this thing, and it became this whole fucking tree. But it was like dead. The tree, it was like this big tree, but it was like dead. And things out here, we're in subtropic climate, so things just don't like die like that. Things pretty much stay alive and green most of the time. And anyways, I got the prompting to like lay down on this thing, where I used to like lay down. It used to be under this little like a cabana type thing. And I laid down, and I got the prompting to look up, and I looked up and I saw this bird cage, and I was like, okay. And the bird cage was open, and I was like, okay. And I looked up, and in the tree was actually two nests next to each other. Like there was one branch, and it went like this, and then it like separated, and there was two fucking nests. And so even when they set the bird free, right, and still stayed right there, they still stayed right next to each other. And then like, and then I saw, um I got this prompting, they were saying like, go to the tree, like touch the tree. And I was like, but it looks sick. It looks like the trees. It looks like the stuff. It looked like the coconut, that it looked like the spell that she put at my house. Right. And I had to bury it. And I had to like clean all these plants and do all this weird thing to start breaking the spell. And, I was like, the same type of marking was on these banana trees and all around. And so they were like, touch the tree. It will tell you what it needs you to do. And so then it was like to peel these leaves off and do all this different stuff and start to take the toxic away. And so I did that, and the tree then looked alive. It was like these black, red, and brown stripes. And they were looking like, it was weird. It was really creepy. But anyways, so I did that, and then I went back to go and sit down, right? Or to go and move this little stool to get higher, to reach higher on one of these trees. And under that, I saw the same thing, the fucking coconut that was there, that was like under the fucking workshop. And I was like, what? It's got to be buried or whatever. But I got distracted because I saw on this bamboo thing was basically this big ass snail. And so this snail came, and this snail all of a sudden started. I have a video of it. I don't know which phone it's on. I'll post it. I'll try to post it on my thing, and you guys will trip out. And it basically, this snail started spewing out like this parasitic thing, and it was like fucking black, and it was like bubbling out, and it's almost like it was like had taken over this snail, like everything that was living and organic there, it had taken it over. And so it was like it was like literally like a fucking so long, this parasitic thing, this black fucking nasty ass thing. And it kept spitting it out and spitting it out and spitting it out and spitting it out. And I was like, okay, did we clean the parasite? Like, did we get it or what? And the snail was like, and its eyes went all the way up, and then they sucked back down into it. and then it started sucking it back up. It started re-eating it. And I was like, oh my God, what's going on? And then basically, then its eyes were all good and it was all good. And it was like, I'm out of here. And then I was like, what the fuck? This is super weird. And then I looked up at the tree before I left and I was like, whoa, there's tiny little like buds that are now on the branches. And I was like, what the fuck? And so I went and I touched the tree and I gave the tree a little prayer or whatever. And I'd asked the his worker, like I went over to his cousin's, he has like a little restaurant or whatever. And I went over there and I was like, can you call him? And I showed him, I was like, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, why would you go there? He was like, that place isn't open. It's been closed. Like everything got infected. And I was like, oh, I cleaned it. There was a weird spell on it and it led me here. It's been leading me around. My guides have been leading me around because the spell work was in all these different things. And so it was leading me around to like these secret, like lotus ponds and like they were all being infected. And it was like, what do we do? Tell us what to do. And it was like all these eggs and stuff. It was like put the mud on it, like walk in the mud and do all of this stuff. And so I was going around and just putting my hands in the water and like singing to it. And then like the next few days I went back and like all the fucking parasitic was gone. And these are like huge ponds of lotuses. And I was like, what the fuck? And then I saw this little farm and I went there and it was like all of these lotuses were dying. They had like all these different pots and all the lotuses were in there and they were all like starting to look good. And this woman that was there, she asked me, she's like, I'm not really sure what's going on and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, your fucking neighbor, you need to bury the fucking kilaba, bury the coconut, like bury it in the earth will resuck it up. Like basically like that's what the snails told me is like they will re-eat the parasite, like they will reprocess it. The mother nature will clean it and reprocess it. And anyways, this gives me so many goosebumps. But so anyways, you could tell they freaked out. They went and got a bunch of stuff and they did all of this stuff. And they're like, we have to go to the temple. He's like, we got to go to the temple now. And he's like, bye, 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 bye. And I was like, okay. And then they like closed the shop and all this stuff. And he asked me, I remember he asked me, he's like, why didn't you go to the hospital? I'm like, what do you mean go to the hospital? I don't understand. Like, I couldn't understand it. I didn't understand. And I was like, well, where is he? Where is he? And he was like, what do you mean? He was like, I haven't seen him in all these years. And that's why the shop got closed and everything like this. And he doesn't talk to me. And I was like, what do you mean? And I was like, I saw him. And he was like, when did you see him? Like, maybe you need to go to the hospital. It's like all these people were telling them that I was fucking cuckoo. And I was like, no, I saw him last month, like in Uluwatu, like maybe a month or a month and a half ago. And like, I don't really know, but it was so overwhelming. Like, and, and, and like, yeah, they tried to, like somebody did some type of spell work and they tried to get me to jump off a cliff. They tried to get me to unalive myself down there. And, so yeah, I think that they actually played that all out and acted to him as if I did unalive myself. They staged a whole funeral. They had a casket, everything. It was really elaborate. Fucking cocksuckers. So everybody that was on board with that and knew better, they're gonna have some backfiring. They're gonna have some repercussion. For instance, that worker's wife that participated, that got the practitioners and participated in that black magic, she's probably really sick. When I saw her, she'd always been like pretty heavy set. She was looking skinny. She was looking like, and she had her hair was bleach blonde. Like I had bleach blonde my hair. Like it was some weird shit. And so I think that people were telling them that I was doing the magic and making these people do all of this stuff. And I was like, no, I'm coming to clean the magic. Like I'm the transmuter of the energy as like the divine mother, right? As Gaia, right? And so, anyways, yeah, but the worker was like, yeah, this and that, and blah 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 blah. And when I messaged him like a few months back, and I was like joking about this little dog, and I was like, I know this little dog. He's like this, like they blocked me. He blocked me. He blocked me from being able to message, from being able to call the number, be able to call the other number. And so the last message that I sent was like, listen, I don't know what's going on. Like, I don't know if someone was doing spell work or whatever, but I've done everything that I can. And even every time that I clear the spell work and do the healing work, like you still keep coming back. So I don't know what that means, but if we can just have a conversation, like it doesn't necessarily, like maybe we're just supposed to heal something together, like I don't know. Like I was like, maybe we can be friends. Maybe we can have a communication. I don't know. But like, all I know is like you're the thing that keeps coming back. And so there's something that we're supposed to do. And so until we fulfill that soul contract, like everybody's going to keep suffering. Things are going to keep not going good. But whatever. Again, free will, free will. And, I send this picture of Ganesha and then I got 5 or 6 messages back where it was like block, 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 block. And I was like, what? I sent like one message and I got 6 blocked back. So I don't know. I feel like there's, again, people in between that were blocking the messages from going through or creating that created this entire fucking ripple. Because jealousy, because spell work and jealousy. So you're right, though. You're 100% right. It's totally worth waiting for, because what happens is when you have this level of understanding and this level of devotion, and you're like, no, the divine is telling me I'm going to be delivered something like this, whether it is that person or something better, like another soulmate or something like that, you're still going to receive it, but not because you're just like, well, I'm tired of being alone and I need some attention. I need external validation. Then you're going to block the fucking VIP parking spot. So the universe isn't going to give you that blessing because you have a little fucking shit bucket cone, like a parking cone in that spot where they're just like, here you go. You have your front row parking, your front row seating, occupado. So the divine is like, oh, you're good. You want that? Then you don't want this. You want that? Okay. You can, that's what you want? Okay. Look at confirmation. So, Adventure Time. What movie is this off of? What movie? No, this isn't a movie. This is my life. This is my actual life. Yeah, ADHD thought. When Harry Met Sally, maybe. You remember seeing it. You look for my Instagram. I have a few Instagrams down there. The DivinityWithinThee is the number one. If you want to see my art, it's Heartwares. If you want to see my traveling and sailor adventures, I'm actually a captain. It's deep hearted, deep heart, 2 R's because I'm a pirate, motherfuckers. Are you? No, but .id. Chaos, yes. You can't do small talk like you, I'm sure. Yeah. We can't. It's just, where are we at in life at this point? Like, I don't want, like, if someone's like messages me like WYD or whatever, like, bro, I'm not even gonna respond to that. Like, what? Ask me a real fucking question. Like, hey, you busy? Can we chat? Can we link up? Can I get to know you? Anything. Even a statement would be better than the fucking, what up? What you doing, bro? Like, what? Even if people were just like, I'm not good at talking or I'm shy, but like, I want to get to know you. Like, can you be patient with that? Like, it goes a lot farther. You doubt you could get a word in though. That's hilarious. Oh, the prophecy about you, Matthew 7:15. Beware of false prophets who come to you in sheep clothing, but are ravenous wolves. Maxwell, welcome back, Maxwell. dropping the knowledge, trolling the troll. Trust me, you are. I mean, you. I wouldn't say that I'm Jesus, but that's my brother. I'm an ascended master, right? I maybe am another incarnation of Sophia, of Isis, of Magdalena, right? They're all these archetypes. So I'm like, I always tell him chaos, GOC. I'm gonna call you GOC. I always tell him like there's at least 3 to 5 times during the chat that I want to delete him, but then I'm just like, well, you know, like don't give energy to that, but like, if he's here and he's listening and he's picking up on something, then that's good. If he's just here because he needs attention, whatever. That's why I don't give it too much energy. Divine Collective free reading, John 3:16. For God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten Son, that whatever believeth in him will not perish but have eternal life. The thing is the Son is also the Sun, S-U-N, not necessarily S-O-N, because the sun is what comes up that breeds life, because without photosynthesis, nothing is going to live also. So a lot of that was written in the Bible is like a little bit like, like hidden wisdom, right? We have to remember that things were written a lot longer before now. And so how we are saying different things. Jesus is pretty famous, bro. Yeah. People were calling me. They're like, "What are you, like the female Jesus? What are you, the Pope?" And I'm like, bro. Calm yourself, calm yourself. But like, it doesn't matter. It's about the embodiment of the Christ consciousness. That's all that matters. And Christ consciousness isn't gonna be evil or say like sometimes he's on here saying that he's fucking Satan. Sometimes he's on here saying that he's Jesus. I think that he's just fucking throwing shit out to see what we're gonna start responding to. If you want my honest thing. You wish that he was your father, so he was. Okay. Can be. I'm told that's what is happening to you. Yeah. A lot of weird shit is happening. But you're the god of chaos. Exactly. He's fishing. He's fishing for attention. That's how I look at it, Foster. I just look at it like that. That's why I just let him run like, whatever. Whatever. Everybody will be famous. Yeah. The first time he came on here, he was Loki. Then he was Satan. Now today he's Jesus, but he also says he's always looking to get back to the psychiatric ward too. So I don't really know. I can't really tell if he's like trying to fucking clown on me or if he's like having a mental breakdown, but because he might be a little bit whatever, like it's cool. Like we can be his little community and give good information, right? You don't doubt you gotta have that god complex, like, and that's like the first level of a lot of the masculine, like a lot of the masculines that go through their first awakening, and I've seen so many, they're like, don't you think I'm Jesus incarnate, don't I look like him, and blah 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 blah. Like I had a friend to shout out to Chris Jackson, um and he was like, but don't you think it's crazy because my name is like crying, like, but I'm just like, oh yeah, for sure. It's the embodiment of the Christ consciousness, but this is the first level of masculine awakening, right? 100%. So it's not bad, but like, sit with it. Sit with it. You're a false anarchist. It's already happening. It's already happening. They're already mourning because here's the thing. Yeshua was an underwrite. He was taught by Sophia. Sophia is divine wisdom divine. And she was his teacher. She was his initiate into to becoming the ascended master. So the reality is the divine feminine is reawakening, and the wisdom that is reawakening within our beings is happening. And this is the Christ consciousness that they tried to trap, that the demiurge and the archons have kept us in for an extended amount of time. So everybody is like, we're kind of right, but also a little bit different. You want to come out, baby? Come on. Come on, hurry. Come on. Come out. I'm not going to be out for much longer because my phone's going to die soon. It's the Easter bunny just around your rising time. Yeah. You know what I'm saying. Hello. Welcome. Michael Medici, 67. What is 67? I don't know what that is. Wish you the best. Yeah, I mean, it's the Christ consciousness. It's what we choose. It's this compassion. It's understanding that we're all part of it. Know that I should have known it's my cross watcher stalker. Paul. Yeah, at least just say you're an anarchist, right? Like I say I'm an anarchist. I made the sign, you guys can find it in my feed, the matriarchy meow, right? With the anarchy sign in it. Because we need a little bit of anarchy to bring back this Christ consciousness to kind of wreck to wreck these fucking the archon and the demiurge a little bit. But it's about the consciousness. It's about this collective consciousness, which is what's coming back, not an actual physical man, but it's coming back. It's reinserting itself within man, not a physical man, like coming from the sky to save us, but it's the Christ consciousness. You have 33 vertebrae. And when you have what's called the Christos fluid that comes up your vertebrae and it goes into your pineal gland. And that's kind of what activates this level of consciousness. So that's the biggest part of it. Ciao. Don't bother people. um,
Night loves.
because here's the thing: when you're a chosen one, people love to be in lower vibration, and they can be literally, like I say all the time, body snatched. That's how. Medici. That's how. It's sad. Um, that's rude. It's a funny joke though. Come here. That's not. Hold on, guys. Give me 1 second. No. I know you want to be friends. It's okay. Maybe you can see them tomorrow. Maybe there will be friends. Yeah. It's like, oh, you just came back. We have neighbors. We have little neighbors we didn't know about, and she decided she loves people. She hates when I'm on the phone for too long because she's not getting the attention. Can you stop the war, please? We're doing the best. We're doing the best. The spiritual warfare is just a thing, and we have to just kind of deal with it a little bit. Ciao, Ethan. Good to see you. Welcome. You guys are crazy. You guys are crazy. Yes, light, right? Darkness. We have to illuminate the darkness, and that's what we're doing, right? You're a Gemini sun. What's up? I'm a Gemini rising, and my North Node is also Gemini. I got a lot of Gemini homies. We homies, yeah. Oh my God, GOC, you're going crazy. You're going crazy. You guys are going crazy. Why waste time writing essays when you can just have a great time? Get high and laugh together. Yeah, yeah. Where are you from, Michael? Come down. You gotta hit me up on IG. I don't know where you are in the world, but like, I'm down to hang out with people, like you have a funeral tomorrow, sending you blessings. Yeah. Make sure check out who and what is going on. You guys are crazy. It's tricky. I think you have to.
I'm so sorry.
No, I think
you can't get the key out.
No, you have to push the handle down in order to pull the key out.
Oh.
I know. I was like,
Okay,
what the
well,
fuck?
yeah, but that does feel loose. Thank you.
Yeah. I was like, what the fuck too? I was like, ah.
No, sorry.
No, it's all good. I'm like, my people they like laughs. We got jokes out here. Anyways, guys, you guys are going on it this way. You guys, what's your Bible shit? Okay, you follow intuition. It's gotten you this far. That's why you bailed on a narcissist. Yeah. Of course, Paul, you're exactly right. We got it. Sometimes we just gotta bounce. Sometimes you gotta know your role and bounce, rock, skate for things that aren't good for you. Um, you can like you're feeding him, Maxwell. You're feeding. You're feeding. You don't feed the demon. You're feeding him. That's why. That's why he won't stop. That's what he wants. Like, and this is a little bit of a demonic energy. I will admit it because they love to feed off of that shit. It's just their thing. Yes, most people are bullshit attention seekers. You're absolutely right, Paul. uh, you guys are funny. You guys are funny. You you're pissing Maxwell off. I can tell that. Hey, Freddie. Good to see you. You guys, just stop. Just stop. Just stop. He's not a god, he's a man. The whole reason he was a prophet. Okay, you guys love to get crazy on this. He is a prophet, and his whole jug was to teach people that they could do the same that he did, which is embody the divinity, right? That's why I name my channel Divinity Within Thee, because it's not about seeking an external force, it's about finding it within yourself and connecting to it from inside. So, big love to you, Freddie. Divine entity, divine love. Yes. You learn to guard yourself more. Yeah, Paul. I like how some of you guys are still in the chat and they're on their own shit. It cracks me up. Yeah, you got to do that. You had, yeah, Aries gang. What up, Aries? Like, I know a lot of my Aries friends, they always light that fire right under my ass. They get me going for sure. I've had a lot of good business partners, and homies that have been Aries for sure. You guys are motivated. You know, Scorpio sometimes need that extra motivation. I think everybody kind of does, but you guys can be a little bit intense. Prince was also an Aries, but I think that a lot of his bands thought that he was a little bit too fucking intense. Um, he's just trying to get a rise out of you, Maxwell, because you're responding. You guys are funny. You guys are hella funny. Did you know the actual meaning of monster means human being? How weird, how it changed. Well, that's the thing is people don't really study the etymology or the etymology of the actual word, right? They just want to go like this. Oh, you're a demon. You're like, here's the thing. If you are in this realm, okay, you're part demon, part angel, okay, because we all came. We're not fallen angels, okay. That was a thing. That's kind of like the demiurge that likes to keep us in that space, right? So you're not necessarily like fallen angels, right? We're all angels. We just came into this realm and we kind of got fucked up because we the veil made us forget a lot of who we are. And so as we get distracted by all of these earthly distractions, right? Um, I saw this movie. What was it? Maybe it was like Percy Jackson or something like this. Maybe it was like, I don't know if it was the first or the second one, right? And they're like, you got to go rescue this person, right? And so the demigods go down there and they go to rescue this person and they're like, don't eat the whatever. And so they're eating and they're drinking the things. And then they start realizing like how long the people had been in there for fucking like 30 years, 50 years or whatever, right? And so they were like, what? And then he realized that they were forgetting because they were partaking in these things. They're like, more treats, more whatever. And he was like, no, he had to stop taking them so he didn't forget his whole fucking mission. And that's essentially what's going on, right? When we came down here, we went through the veil, we forgot what our actual purpose or mission was, and we got distracted. Some of us got more distracted and became more dark, and some of us didn't, right? Like Lilith went straight down into the depths. And was because the light has to go where the darkness is, right? You don't see as much light when you're in the light. It's hard to recognize the light when you're in the light, when you're surrounded by the light. But if you're in the darkness, like, and then people turn on the light, look it, I'm much brighter, right? Maybe because I'm wearing black today. No, because I'm sitting in the dark, right? Um, Anyways, did you know an actual yes, you told me this. Sorry. Um, I'm not gonna keep reading you guys is going back and forth. I'll be your John. You guys are so funny. How do you come to terms with being such a useless, low life bottom feeder? Okay, Jemmy, I don't know. How did you? You're obviously a prostitute. You know what else is funny? Um, since I'm not next door to the fucking prostitute, like, look, there hasn't been any blip in the feed at all. Go figure. Nobody, Joffrey, were you like, why were all of my messages getting retracted? Because they're tapped into the shit. Because they're tapped in. They tapped in through they hacked my fucking devices. Like, so you guys experienced that. You guys experienced that in live time last night. So, anyways, okay, I'm not going deeper on the Bible talk right now, you guys. Not gonna go on that. Resonates. Cool. Hello, welcome. Undead Cassie. Welcome to the living. The world of the living. But it's like the world of the living dead a little bit, right? They seem to run from the intensity. You love that. Yeah. And sometimes people do. Sometimes people do run from the intensity. And the reason, yeah, so now he's Lucifer. You guys literally, you guys see. You'll record all your statements for this time, how you spell your new name, government name, and your avatar now. Okay. You guys are funny. But yeah, who was this that was talking actually? Someone that was really saying something good in the middle here. Cassie. Yeah, some people do run from the intensity, and the reason why they run from the intensity is because they haven't quite done all of their awakening, and that's why I just kindly step back, a bit because, um, it was just really important, right? It's really important that you allow people, like we're all in the same storm, but we're not in the same fucking boat. We're not on the same journey. Um, Cool. Thank you. I'll go check the message, Paul. Thank you. Um, would love to actually have a real chat. Um, without a bunch of fucking people trolling, arguing, but it's okay. It's okay. You discovered a false ascended master that uses AI to manipulate. Yeah, yeah. And that's why I just I do the lives every day because I know people are already tapping into my shit and I know that they're manipulating my shit, right? And so the best I can do is my best, right? Which is show up every day, and that's why that pisses them off. They're just like, stop telling our secrets and lies. And I'm just like, ah, it's not going to work because in order for the light to overcome the darkness, it has to be brought to the light. So, and they're like, it burns. No, it's burning. I'm melting. Think about it. Think about it. Like as parasitic or vampiric beings, right? We gotta go inside, guys, because my phone's gonna die, and I want to finish this conversation. I just brought us outside because the moon was so awesome. Come on, Bambi. The hair is so cold. Oh my god. Hold on one second, guys. Come on. Come in, Bambi. Everybody, they want to go to sleep. I know you're excited. These are the new neighbors, and they're nice, huh? They're not crazy. They're not crazy, and they're not whores. My cat's like, yeah. Hold on one second. I gotta plug this in. I gotta plug you in. Let me be your plug. Let me be your manager. No. So anyways, so yeah, I'm not naked. But anyways, so yeah, people like to use the AI to manipulate, and that is part of the problem is they are manipulating. And as long as people are buying it and continuing on that path, they can keep running that false narrative. And that's really the whole thing, right? Is they want to run a false narrative. Um, and so that's why I'm just like, I don't want to use AI, because there's so many people that are just taking, for instance, there was people that were taking what I was saying and then using my voice or my face to do all of this stuff. And people are like, well, we seen you doing weird stuff and we came to your chat because you fucking whatever. Like whoever fucking came on my feed and was like, you're a fucking whatever. It's like, oh, that must have been the fucking whore from next door, because they can't tap my shit. Because I fucking left. Me and the kitty left. We said, fuck you. Fuck you, you fucking fucks. We ain't subscribing to your shit. And guess what? There's all these other people here and there's no problem with the fucking internet, bro. It's crazy, right? Would you just imagine? Like, look how clear the picture is, even on the bad device. And look at, there's been no blocking, no talk blocking, no cock blocking, no dumb shit. We just out here. So yeah, you know what I'm saying. Who would want the Jesus gig? That's pressure. When I was channeling, not Sophia, when I was channeling Lilith last year, okay, Lilith um, was actually Adam's first. What the fuck? Oh, my cards. I had all this shit outside of the table because the table was out there. And the moon was full or new, and I was like, what? So Lilith, when I was channeling that, and they were like, you have to give this information, and I was like, I don't want to give this information. I was like, isn't this the same shit that Jesus was saying that they fucking nailed him on the cross for? And the archangels were like, yeah, exactly. Keep going, keep going. And I was like, I don't know if I should keep going. Like, and I was like, I went to look outside, and I was like, if I keep going, are they building a cross out there? Are they gonna fucking nail me onto the cross or what? Like, because literally so many people come on here and think like, okay, well, you're like a heretic or whatever. And I was like, bro, don't you think that if they wanted to off me, it would have already happened? Like, the reality is like, I have so much, like I have a legion of angels protecting me, so I know that I can't be like, I know that God isn't trying to smite me down because I'm just like, I feel like I feel like that's the only backup that I have. But yeah, it's hard because a lot of people don't really like to get on board that the supreme being is the supreme mother, is the Shakti, you know. But whatever, right? People are still stuck on Abrahamic religions that are like only been around for a minimal amount of time. And yeah, that's just to each his own, right? Everybody's on their different path and everybody has their different times of awakening. And that's why I'm just here to help people to tap that divinity within each one of you, right? Because that is our divine birthright, right? If we are made in the image of, right? If we are made in the image of, then that means God wouldn't be like, oh, I'm going to make you just like me, but you're a piece of shit trash demon. It's just like, it's Bluetooth no connect. That does not compute. It doesn't compute. It's just, we have free will. And that's part of being in this third density realm, is we have that ability to eat or to do the addict or to become the lustful or to do these things, right? And that's a choice. That's part of our free will, but that is part of it coming to this realm. And that's why when Lilith said, I'm not going to keep submitting to Adam Mel, we were created equal. We were made and created as equals, like from the earth, at the same time, we're equals. So I don't want to submit. Like, I want to ride the pony, not the other way around. And he was like, no, you can fucking leave the garden. And she's like, all right then, deuces, bro, because like, if you're gonna put me in a state of subserviency when we were created equal, then that's cool, but I gotta go now. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the energy. But it's really hard for people to think that, because a lot of the Abraham religion, especially like especially the Jewish religion, they are scared shit. Like they won't even mention Lilith because that's how like they fear her. Like she's more feared than Satan himself. And they call her all these crazy things, you know. They call her the succubus, the queen angel of all. No, she just went all the way to the depths, same as like Hecate, right? She did the same thing, right? She's leading people that went to the crossroads that maybe did bad things and is like, listen, we're at the crossroads. You can now choose to repent and you can go back. I'll lead you in the path to the light, or you can stay here feeding, fucking, fighting, whatever, with your addictions and your lust and your greed and your hatred and your envy and your jealousy, whatever, you can do that. You can still do that. Up to you. Your choice. And so, yeah, basically, that's how it went down. And, people, it's not really our place to judge. Everybody's on their own path, everybody's on their own journey. And many of the masculine, as they start to come into their awakenings, like they may have that experience where they're like, oh, I feel like I'm Jesus. And they may have the next experience, where they're like, oh, okay, now I'm doing this. Like, but if you're Jesus, you're not judging other people. You're washing people's motherfucking feet and shit, bro. You're helping heal people, not attacking them, not belittling them, not telling them you have to do this or else. Like, where did he ever do that? He was a prophet. He was prophesying. He was trying to tell people he was ascended master. He went and learned under Sophia, which is divine wisdom. Look at the word, look at the definition, look at the name. Literally, it's written in it. And he studied a lot in Egypt under her. And that's where, and I know a lot of people are going to get asked her about this, but Egyptian, Egyptian religion and mythology, they actually have this ritual where they do the 3 days where they take something and they go into the state where they're dead. They leave their body and they come back. It's like being reborn. And after 3 days, they fucking awaken. But they put them in this fucking sarcophagus with the fucking big stone. When they're like, why are these sarcophaguses so huge? But there's nothing in them. Because people are having a spiritual fucking rebirthing. But yeah, again, a lot of Abrahamic religions are not going to like that because what do you mean? You mean that wasn't a miracle? That's actually a rite of passage from another religion that's much more ancient than the monotheism? No, absolutely not. It's the same thing when I tell people that when they take sacrament, they're eating the flesh and drinking the blood. That's a satanic ritual, guys. That's a satanic ritual. Not because I'm a Satanist, because it's fucking, look at what the fucking deletes in the world are doing. They eat the flesh and they drink the blood. Hello, McFly. It's a satanic ritual. So don't believe everything that your church tells you. Don't believe everything that they rewrote in the Bible, because when King James and Constantine rewrote the Bible, before they wrote the King James Version, they wrote demonology. That's the book he's most famous for. And then they wrote the witch hunting book and started the whole witch hunt because women that were working with the nature that could tune into spirits and help prevent people from dying or cure sicknesses with herbs and plants and be able to talk to the things and know what you needed to heal your body, that was the devil. So because they wanted women to be subservient. So literally that's the biggest scam of the entire monotheistic Abrahamic religion, is that man, that God is a man and that man supersedes feminine. Creation, womb, man. Man is a manifestation of the womb. We're created from feminine. I even have a book. We'll tap in on the angel deck tomorrow because it's written. It's based on what do you call it? Where is it? I don't want to misinterpret. From firmly ground in Kabbalistic alchemical, and Christian mysticism. This deck. This is where I learned about a lot of things. Okay, so this was written by religious people that created the deck. Okay, this is very old. So, anyways, that's what it says. Is that in there that um, that the mother supreme, that they asked to breed to create a new being, and instead what they did is they sent it to create this new being, but they put it all into man because the divine mother gave them the energy to breathe the breath of life into this thing that they were creating, but instead their intention and what they created was for man to supersede due to Adamel's jealousy of Lilith not being subservient to him. So learn you some knowledge before you be quoting the book that was written by a man that wrote demonology before he wrote your scriptural text. Just dropping that hot bit of knowledge for y'all. But yeah, it is a lot of pressure. Austin, Texas. There's a shitload of Jesus lookalikes. I have a really good friend, Hans Havron. You know Hans Havron? He's one of my favorite artists ever. And he's like my fam, you know. Um, he had a kid out here, and I've been out here in Bali actually since his kid Raven was a baby, since was first born. And now he's like about to be 7. It's so crazy. But yeah, he does a lot. He's from Austin, Texas. He does a lot of art out there. He was a monk. Well, that's what he did. Is he traveled around learning the knowledge. That's how he became an ascended master. That's how the Buddha ascended and stuff like this, was from being like, okay, I'm going to learn the knowledge. I'm in a state of meditation. I'm talking directly with the divine, not with somebody telling me how I receive my religious information, not through a fucking text, through meditation, through direct visualization of having the angels and the spirits and everything come to them and be like, boom, you ready for the download? Whoosh, here you go. Here's the download. And that's basically how it happens. You're not low vibe. You just refuse to lose your sense of me too. But people think that I'm all these terrible things because I got jokes, because I laugh at people, and because I tell them, you know what? Suck it. Like, I don't care. But, to each his own, right? It's a level of, like, I'm not going to attack or hurt other people, so I can still be divine and drop F bombs because I'm not being like, fuck you, everybody. Like, nah. I mean, if you're a fucker, then I'll be like, you're a fucker. Fuck you, you fucking fuck. But, we don't have to be on that. Ciao, Anna. Good to see you. Peace. Hello. Hey, sea goddess. Baby Jesus. Yeah, baby Jesus. That's all we say. Baby Jesus. What is baby Jesus, please? I am great. How you guys doing? I went on a big adventure with Many Kitty over here, and we just had to get away, like, because I realized that after that dude came and he not only cut the camera, moved the camera, but he also cut the light, like the LED light that is run by solar. Because I told the dumb bitch next door, I was just like, you keep moving the camera and unplugging it, but actually we got a camera, like a flock camera that's in the fucking thing from the solar light. And then she had that motherfucker come over and he chopped the fucking shit for the light. But because there was so much energy from the solar, it was still like low. But I was just like, they're just mad because I called her out on her shit. She's just mad. Like, if you weren't a whore, it wouldn't bother you. Like, when people come on here and be like, shut the fuck up, you're dumb, you're ugly, you're a man, you're a prostitute. Like, that's great. You can take your opinion and stick it where the sun don't shine. I don't really care because I know who I am, so that doesn't affect me. And unless I was doing some shit like that, it wouldn't affect me. And if I was doing some shit like that, I would probably be like, you got me. I was doing some, what's this song? Who sings that song? Just doing, ho, use a hoe. You doing hoe activities with hoe tendencies. That's what I was singing to this bitch next door. You know, like, but if that was my job, I guess, and I was proud of it, then I will fucking be proud of it. But if you ain't proud of your job and people calling you on the shit that you're doing, you know what I'm saying? If you gotta unplug the camera every time you have a different dude fucking coming over because you don't want the landlords to know that you are actually a prostitute, you know, if you weren't actually one, then why you have to keep turning the camera before the dude comes over? Why you gotta unplug it? Why you gotta cut the light so no one can see? Because you're a fucking hoe. So just be like, yeah, bitch. Yeah, I am. But I'm trying to get paid. Cause then I'd be like, all right, respect, bitch. Get paid. Take dick, get paid. Whatever. If that's the only thing you can do is lay on your fat ass and spread your fucking legs and take dick by the fucking mile, then that's what you got to do, I guess. But you're lazy. You're lazy. So whatever. For me, people are like, get a fucking. I'm like, bro, like, I'm in a third world country. I can't just get a job out here. I can't just like go and get a job at a market. It's not possible. I have to, for me to have my own job or to work for something or to work out here, I have to have like 10 to 20,000 USD to fucking start a business. And then I can't even still work that job. I have to hire people to work that business for me. So what I can do is online, and I don't do fucking weird shit or chat shit or any of that other shit. So fuck off. But for instance, the whole next door from the other spot, like, at least just fucking, an apple is an apple and a banana is a banana. You know what I'm saying? Like, just be like, yeah, bitch, I put the banana in my fucking whatever. You know, like, just fucking be like, yeah, you want to talk some more shit, because when people, and this is the low frequency, is when people are, if she actually felt good about what she was doing, then would she be ashamed of it? If you got to hide who you actually are, what you actually do, and you got to be ashamed and you got to fucking creep in secret and you're fucking other people's partners, then like, bro, you got some bad fucking news coming towards you, and I'm gonna mock you for it because you over there pretending like I'm doing little blessings and shit when you were just a hoe. What do you want from me? I just calls it like I sees it. I ain't attacking you. I'm just stating the obvious. And clearly, if it wasn't true, you wouldn't be calling people crying and be like, and that's why Jaffe saw it. Um, that's why Jaffe saw it. He was like, why are all my comments getting retracted? He was like, I'm not deleting them. And I was like, I know you're not deleting them, because if people make a little bit, depending on the words that they use, right, it will come up, the message will be held. And so only if I open it up and see it, um, like, can it show? So all of the ones that only if I put like, what do you call it? If I make it show, it's like it says show or hide, keep the comment hidden or whatever. So all of the ones that I popped up, because I was reading what he was writing yesterday about this oh next door. And he was like, ho for show. Today he was like, all right, I seen to her, my offer is 3 pence. It started at 10, and he's like, oh, she's fat. It went down to 5. And then he's like, I seen it. I'm down to 3 max, you know, like, but this guy was going on and he was deleting all of his comments, tapped into my shit on my device, on my YouTube, and was deleting other people's comments because for someone to retract the comment, it has to be, I can't retract the comment. I can block the comment or hide the comment, but I can't retract it. That's the actual person has to retract it. So that tells me that these fucking stalkers, these gang stalkers, actually have some type of back end, not just into my devices, but also through YouTube, because they've been using my feeds and my shit. And like, people are like, sometimes people come on here and they're like, oh, I love what you're wearing today. And they'll describe it. And I'll be like, what the fuck are you talking about? I ain't wearing that shit. Like, what? So, whatever. Hey, Ariane. Hi. Very beautiful. Thank you. Yellow and blue garment angel. I don't know what that is. What is that? What is that exactly? Thank you for the heart. Extended hearts. Rob. Limelight. Thanks for the collarbone. GOC, you're just crazy. uh, no, she didn't. She never married anybody. Lilith didn't marry anybody. You're wrong. Everyone will find love where they're loved. Uh, um, you're completely true. Everyone will find love where they are loved. And that's why you got to choose people that support you. You got to, I mean, you don't got to, it's your choice, free will, free will. You can do whatever you want. But um, okay, Limelight, you're talking shit. You done. Bye. We don't do abusive fucking shit here. I'll let people fight. I'll let people run jokes and talk to each other about Jesus and the Bible, but you want to start attacking people? Like, nah, that shit don't fly. You want to insult me on my fucking show? Get the fuck on. Again, let that backfire. I hope the spiritual pimp hand gives you a good backslap. Limelight. Because spiritual pimp hand's strong and the reach is long. That ain't no joke. I hope you feel that shit tomorrow. For sure you will. That's exactly the problem you have with religion. It's been manipulated. You're far more spiritual than religious. Yes, exactly. That is the one pinned final offer. Gap, gap. Yes. That's what I'm saying, right? Like, we got to joke about it. And then she's mad that we're joking about it. But, like, bitch, you take money, you sell your pussy for money. So, what, you're insulted when people be offering the money for it? Fucking home next door shit right there. That's hilarious. Eve was made from a man's rib. Yeah, Eve was not rib. Okay, so if you actually want to understand, the Hebrew word can be rib, but it's also the side. Okay, one side. So where they first were created, where Adam and Lilith were first created as equals from clay. If you actually study the Bible, they were created from clay. Okay, guys, I studied the Bible for fucking a lot of years. So they were created equal from clay of the earth, right? To be of the earth. And then when Lilith was like, deuces, she's like, I'm going to cast you out of the garden. She's like, all right, I'm going to go save all of the children down there. The children, it's for the kids. And so she bounced. And then when they created half, I don't think it was from the rib. I think that that's false because the word in Hebrew actually means side, from one side, not one rib, one side. So then I think what happened is they split him in two. So where they started as two equal individuals, now one being got split into two beings, right? And that makes a lot more sense, actually, if you think about it, because the right side of your body is masculine in metaphysical mapping, and the left side is feminine. And if you look at the what is it? If you look at the pictures where it's like Shakti and Shiva or whatever, one side is like the masculine and the other side is the feminine. I think it's more that type of vibe. If you want my truth, Foster, that's really what it was. Um, so not from the rib. And again, things are lost. The first thing it says in the Bible is we believe the Bible to be the word of God as far as it is translated correctly. Guess what? When we start translating from old school text, there's not fucking actual words that can translate it. You can't translate the same fucking word. It doesn't work out. I don't know where you guys live, but I live in Indonesia, right? And in Bali, we have people from all over the entire world. And when they try to convey things, they're like, there's no word for it. There's no way for me to convey it in English. But this is kind of the gist. They're like, but actually, when I say it, it doesn't make sense at all in English. There's plenty of words that are Spanish, right? Which is also from a Latin language, right? Which doesn't ever fucking translate into English language. So, therefore, when it was translated probably to the English language, for sure they missed a lot in translation. Just saying. Just a little drop of knowledge for y'all out there. The egg sits dormant in the females, but the semen. Yeah, but the egg chooses. The egg chooses. Not there's not this big fucking race and the winning fucking one. That's also bullshit. The winning one chooses. No, the female's body only lets in the one semen into that egg that is chosen. So again, the female again is being the fucking goddess, choosing which one will become. And then what builds the human? What bridges from the spiritual being into the physical world? Oh, I don't know. What is the portal? The pussy, bro. The porthole. Where does it open and you're come through it, bro? Like what grows the body? What grows the actual thing from the egg? The goddess. The man doesn't do that. You can't do that. You can't create nothing. You ain't getting checks. You better be getting fucking checks because you can't do all the other shit that we can. So fuck. Do something. Shit. We all start as females. That is true. See, GLC, sometimes he be dropping some information. That's the only reason why I don't delete him. He likes to get people riled up, but he gets people chatting, so whatever, who cares? But you're absolutely correct on that. We all start as female, and then the female's body decides if it's going to be whatever. Also, part of it is dictated by the masculine's sperm as well, right? So, for instance, all these kings that were like, I keep having female children, like that has to do with their fucking sperm. Most of the time, if females are born, if they stay feminine, it's because there was extreme amounts of trauma or stress. And that is the goddess's natural response to protecting life itself, right? Because it's not going to produce more men, it needs to produce more women to birth more. So when there's a lot of trauma, a lot of war, a lot of death, all of you'll notice that a lot, especially in families and stuff, you'll notice that a lot of the children that are born are females because they're born out of duress. The body naturally produces that. How about that? Gonna learn us some knowledge tonight. There's nothing that you can disagree with that I said. Thank you. I love that. I would love to have a chat with you. It's your intuition that made you question. Oh yeah, fuck. You're going to tell people to fuck off. That's just gonna happen. Yeah, we got to do it. You got to do it, bro. You got to do it. Well, yeah, well, anything is called a tailbone. I think that, yeah, we do. Like, literally, I think we start like that, right? Like, well, actually, everybody starts as an asshole. Some people never grow out of it. Actually, if you want to know, we literally start as the anus and then grow from that. So some people never actually grow out of it. They just grow into a human that's still an asshole. Look it up. It's real. That's real information. If we are positive, then you're jiggle. It will cancel out the pain. You got jokes. You got jokes, Paul. I like that. I like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just people love to talk shit, right? They love it. Like, she's trying to come back. talking shit on me that I talked on her. The only difference is I'm celibate, bro. Like, I can't be a celibate prostitute. How does that even work? The fuck? What the fuck? What in the I like, okay, all right. Then I'll be, if that's what I am in your mind, then you create that little picture. But it just shows me your level of fucking ignoramus. You know, some people never grew out of being the anus. Whether it's an actual anus or an ignoramus. Some people didn't fucking grow out of that shit. So, you know, that just shows us their level or their lack of intelligence, right? Because they can't actually you don't know. Like, we see you, everybody sees you bringing in, like, you know, when you have all these different dudes, like, you know, for sure they're running fucking drugs and prostitution and what are they selling fucking sex toys and shit like that, which, you know, to each his own. But like in Indonesia, this is a Muslim country, which means like they're running, everything that they're doing is completely fucking illegal, like completely felony. So you can call me what you are, but I'm just gonna be like, I'm gonna bust out that fucking third grade shit. I know you are, but what am I? I know you are, but what am I? I'm sorry, but I was like be cracking myself up out here. Oh my god. Oh my god. I don't have any of that shit, bro. Like, you think if I can't even record an actual video on my phone and have to go live on my YouTube every day, that I can't even get, like, they canceled my SoundCloud today because my device is too old and can't update. Motherfuckers. It won't load. Ass hats. So anyways, that really put a fucking, it's because when I left there, they fucking did some shit. Because every time I was going around the town or whatever, I could do it. I could let the SoundCloud play, and then they're just mad because I actually bounced out. I took the cat and bounced out. They were hoping that I was gonna go and leave the cat. They were poisoning my cat. They fucking gave my cat some weird injections. They gave her shit. They were feeding her shit that I'm allergic to. They were putting like spell work on her. Like, I tried to leave. My friend's like, she'll be safe here. And he was letting people do black magic and do weird fucking shit trying to off my cat. And she just ate that magic too. She probably gobbled it like all the fucking dick that the whore next door would be taking. Sorry, not you girls. They were cool. They were chill. They have good vibes. They have good vibes. Angels listen to all music. Okay. What are you going to sing? Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Only darkness every day. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. And as she's always gone too long. Anytime she goes away. I hate AI music. I mean, it does sound good. I'm not going to lie. But for me working in the music industry, fuck AI again. Fuck your AI music. Nigga, what the fuck? Whack ass shit. Like, all that tells me is you don't have the capacity to fucking get somebody to make a beat. Like, go online. Like, I saw this chick, I posted her on my feed the other day. She was like, I just put this some weird track. It was like this old school swingy track. She's like, I just put some weird track because I have this beat and I need to drop it. So who's got a beat for me? Like, I sent it to my friend that's like a beat producer, right? That works with like Wu-Tang and shit. And I was like, bro, I was like, hit this chick up. I was like, she needs some beats, bro. I was like, listen to her flow. She was fucking fire, bro. She was super fire. And I was like, she was dropping bars. And I was like, damn, you know, like, someone get this girl a beat, right? I did that. I don't think it was on this channel though. I think I put it on. I think it's on my actual, like, my original channel with my name, and like I only have 17 subscribers over there. But yeah, I did this whole thing, and that's when I was channeling Lilith and all of that. And I was like, whoa, the divine feminine fucking came in with bars and rock hard. She was like, drop in. I was like, whoa. And it was like, that was intense. We weren't expecting that. We thought you were going to show us some little art clothes. And then all of a sudden you were doing that for a while. And then you're just like, verbal assassination, you know? But anyways, fuck AI music, bitch. Dumbass shit. That's going to make me mad. Fuck AI art. Fuck AI music. It's not even retracting. There is a digital footprint. The whole hacking thing is face-to-face conversations, and you can explain what they do to you and maybe, oh yeah, tight. I like, for me, I'm like, this is the most technology. Like, no, I mean, I can play with like instrument, like electronic instruments and shit like this. Like, but I'm not a, like, for me, I've always had a little bit of block through digital stuff. Like ever since I was small, I've like shorted out devices and all kinds of stuff. Like I've made records fucking skip, and it's just been crazy. It's just been crazy. So, um, yeah, it's just, I don't know how to make this. Maybe turn it to a fan. I don't know how to make it be so fucking. It's like so fucking cool. They're either they're like old and shitty, or they're like Arctic. It's like crazy. Um, yeah, I'm interested to know though. You see two on the porch like dueling banjos. That sounds tight. That sounds tight, dueling banjos. I want to see that. Right now, you just love the one you are, that you're with me. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Because here's the thing, what people don't understand. Everybody wants to call in these loves, these partnerships and all that, but like, are you good with you? Like, if you're not totally in love with yourself, right? And I don't mean like egotistically, I love myself. I mean, like, do you like who you are? Like, would you date yourself? Most Scorpios are like, fuck yeah, I would date me in a second, bro. Like, I'm a fucking keeper. One hundo. We skilled, right? If you're a Scorpio, you've been through the trenches like for many lifetimes to incarnate as a Scorpio this lifetime. And you've been through some goddamn trenches out here too. But this is a big thing, right? It's like, would we actually date ourselves? If you're like, well, I really would like this, like, I really would like that, I need somebody that's like this, and I need somebody that's like that. And are you the person that you want to date? I have a little offness in my eyebrow there. Are you someone that you would want to date? And I'm just like, cool. Like, yeah, I do my own thing. I can do all different types of things. I'm good. I'm loyal. I'm loving. I'm supportive. I make dope ass food and treats and art, and I can totally chill, but I love to go on adventures. Like okay, yeah, yeah. I like to communicate things. I'm not just gonna fucking ghost somebody. I'm not gonna be avoidant unless a motherfucker, like, unless you gotta cut a motherfucker off, like, I guess. But like, are you all the things that you want, that you are expecting or wanting out of a partner? Are you those things? That's the best way to know, like, if you're actually ready and able to receive. No, she got split in two. Yeah. Over 3,000 years, it doesn't mean a fucking thing. You're just going to be honest. It's like the old thing we did in school. Start with one statement. By the time it gets to the back, yeah, telephone. Telephone, 100%. It's like telephone. And that's it, the translation, bro. Like, who actually wrote that shit down? Like, where did it come? Like, that's why I like the Emerald tablets. Thoth alchemically changed them so nobody could fucking rewrite them, bro. It's just like, I'm gonna make it so you can't put acid or seawater or nothing on these. It's gonna be the same. You can't fuck with it. And until it's unfuckwithable, I'm not delivering you the information. Your dog's gonna have puppies. That's awesome. What kind of dog do you got? Death metal. Angels listen to death metal. Actually, Lucifer is an amazing musician. He's supposed. That's why he runs the industry. Is it? Or is it because is it because they're actually sucking the life force energy, right? The creation. Because when they're dark like that, they can't create. That's why the chosen ones are the creators. That's why they want to fuck us up, because they want to suck off our life force energy. Not suck us off in the good way, like, nah, unfortunately. You believe in angel, you believe in you guys, this chat is fire. Great news, Paul. Fuck yeah. You're on one. What's the thing? What is that joke? I'm gonna lose a lot of people for this, but I don't really care. Like, what is the joke? Why do women why do women love Jesus? Because he was hung like while we're being outrageous out here. Get jokes, bro. Life is traumatic as fuck. Like, have some laughs, and as long as it's not hurting other people or at the expense of other people, like you know, like Jesus thinks it's funny, bro. That's my your buddy Jesus. Hey, you know what I'm saying? He's like, hey, he's got jokes, bro. He's like, all right, all right. As long as what you're doing isn't hurting other people, or you're not manipulating or one-upping other people, then like whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the thing. Like, am I hurting your feelings for calling you for saying what it is? Because if that hurts your feelings, then maybe you should change your shit. Like, if the truth came out, then and you feel ashamed and you got to call somebody crying to try to attack me, then you might want to reconsider where you're directing that energy and be like, why am I angry? Why am I like this? For me, I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm intense. I know that. I'm intense and I spit the truth. And a lot of people don't like that. And I don't really fucking care. You know, and they're like, I'm not your cup of tea. No, I'm more like a cup of ayahuasca because I ain't for everybody. And I can trip you the fuck out if you really want to go there. We're all God, bro. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, if we're made in the image of, then that means we have the capacity. It's the same capacity. As above, so below. Like, so funny how people like to like take parts of the information and be like, this is the truth of the word, but then the other parts are what happened to the other parts? What does that mean? It's a joke. Then you have a sense of humor. You made the platypus. Oh, you were him earlier. Now you met him. Come on now. GOC, you need a session, bro. You need to work through. Maybe GOC is just like has MPD. Maybe he just has multiple personality disorder. I could actually believe that. That makes a little bit more sense. That he's either like MPD or like BPD, and that would make a lot more sense. But like, I don't hate, bro. Like, I'm here to help people through their awakening, through their mental health, through different things, right? Like, this is just part of what it is. We're spiritual beings having a human experience, and it is fucking weird. And yeah, sometimes we do get weird shit. Sometimes we do tap weird shit, or I don't know, like, but just be like, yeah, maybe I like to get into different characters or whatever, and just own that shit. Because sometimes when you just own that shit, then that's the only way you can dissipate it. This is quantum physics, quantum mechanics, bro. You have to observe and acknowledge what is before you can change it, before you can alchemize it into something else. So once you observe, once you realize, like, even though you didn't realize that you were a whore next door, once you didn't realize that, but everybody else was saying it, you're like, man, maybe I should take a look at what I'm doing with my life and really get with myself and be like, what the fuck? Wasn't so funny with for Vatamots and Record. That shit was not funny. I don't know what that means. Attempts with attempts and record. Okay. Thinking about it pisses you off. Couldn't even spell attempts. Yeah, yeah. See? And that's a Scorpio way. That's the Scorpio way. 4 attempts on your life. Okay, now I understand, bro. Like you have no idea. You have no like these motherfuckers are relentless and they're still good. They're still doing it. So the problem is they try to fuck up my bike and do all this shit and like I just put prayers on my bike. And it's so funny because this bitch started putting like all these different little things on her bike, like trying to pray up her bike and all this shit. And I was like, yeah, but you had that dude, you had one of these dudes, a government official, that tapped into my shit. Then he came here and he fucked with my bike, and that was on fucking film too. And now you'll be putting fucking flowers and blessings on your bike every day, bitch, but that ain't gonna help you because you fucking, again, like we started with this whole conversation, whether you had someone else do the deed, that shit's coming back to you. It's coming back to you harder than the person that you got to do it because you convinced that person to do it for you. It's crazy, right? That's why I was trying to get a hold of this other motherfucker because I was like, what type of spell work did you do? Because it's not about it's like I can't stop all this bad shit from happening to people unless somebody tells me what the fuck is going on. But I can I ain't gonna rack my mind on it because you guys try to put bad shit on me and it's coming back to you. Not my fucking problem. But if you want my help, then fuck, man, better do something. It doesn't take long to squeeze a trigger. Yeah, they can't shoot. I did a bunch of spell work. I did a bunch of spell work like last year and a half ago or something like this. So if they're attacking any of the chosen ones, any of the light warriors, indigo, starseeds, they can't fucking shoot us. We're not shootable. We're not strangleable. We're not poisonable. Like there's so many ways. Like I just started thinking of all the ways that they were trying to unalive me. I was just like, all right, I'm putting a spell to block this shit for me and all of my collective. All of the collective out here doing the work. Praise to the most high goddess. You know. We'll be all right. Well, we will, but it doesn't eradicate the fact that there is some fucking psycho killers. Better run, 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 run away. Seriously, though, like that's what I was like, because there's all this shit that was happening. They were blocking me, right? I made like 3 different bookings and it didn't work out. And I did it intentionally at different places so they wouldn't actually really like know where I was actually going, right? Because they have access into the email and all this shit. And they fucked it up. They fucked it up because they didn't want me to have the villa. They didn't want me to get the thing that I had. They didn't want me to whatever. And so I was like, whatever. I don't really give a fuck, honestly, because I'm still gonna get what I deserve. And I deserve whatever. I asked got fucking paid today. You know what it's like to be a millionaire? And that bitch is still over there crying, taking dick to get fucking a drink that comes in a plastic bag. That's the funny thing is she's over there trying to copy me, and I'm just like, I just got this room for my shit to be in storage, but since you guys are all fucking weird, like I just be here chilling with it. Actually, also because it made my cat feel good because she gets really stressed out when everything goes missing, and then she felt a lot better, like because she can smell all the stuff that comes from her house, so she really likes to be, she likes to go in all the stuff in there, even though I just like set it up as a little sewing room and a storage space, but it makes her feel good to be around things that smell like it's our home, that smell like us, I guess. So, but whatever. Yeah, ain't because I broke, but I was like, you know what, I could move, and then I was like, or I could just go on little adventures and eat amazing food and get massages and go and get little whatever instead, and save that extra money to go to nice ass fucking places when I want. Because in Indonesia, stuff's not that expensive, you know. Like this bed is actually super comfortable. Like these sheets are really soft. This bed is really comfortable. It got nice air con. We have a whole little thing, and like literally, it's like $12. $12. I mean, like I could probably find like if I wanted to spend 20, like I would be in a nice ass fucking room. But I'm just like, I don't really care. I like to have a little garden area so my cat can go cruise around. I don't need a nicer room to sleep in, but yeah. But tomorrow's gonna be a big surprise. I already know that. You know what's crazy is I actually went down. I booked this room next to where the studio is, where this dude and his worker and the studio is. And I was like being told, like I was like, maybe I should go over there. Maybe I should go and sing with the band over there tonight and all this other stuff. And it was like, nah, look, it's a hard no. It's like feminine can't chase, she has to attract. So even if you want to, you can't because it's about changing the changing the loop. It's about changing the loop. It's about masculine having to like apologize if they did fucked up shit or to just tell the truth, right? Which is, I fucking hate you, or I'm in love with you and I don't know how to say it. Whatever it is. Like, that's the last message. I was like, I don't know what it is, but like, I would appreciate a conversation that's at least like, maybe at one point I liked you, or actually I fucking hate you. Go fuck yourself. I was like, even a go fuck yourself would be better than nothing. And then I just got all these fucking like 6 block messages. And I haven't been able to do anything since then. And then all of my shit's disconnected, so I can't even call anybody. I think he was really expecting me to call him on his birthday, but I can't call anybody. My shit's all fucking hacked. My shit's all blocked. So unless somebody fucking calls me, that's the thing. Today, the dude was like, "Can you take my number?" He was trying to be respectful because, you know, of course, most people are not like give whatever. But with Telegram, you don't have to give your number. You can give your handle, and they don't get to know your number, and you can actually block them if you want, which is why it's a superior app to WhatsApp. And I was just like, fuck, it won't let me add you. And I was like, can you add me and do a little, you know, you got to send me something or call me or whatever. And he's like, for sure. And he did it like immediately. He was like, boom, boom, boom. And I was like, oh, cool. What's up? You know, like it was just that easy. It's just that easy. But they're not letting me do any outgoing. It has to all be incoming before I can make outgoing. Before I can respond, somebody actually has to physically make the effort, which I just think is like the micro and the macro, right? Like, I don't know any other, like, if that's not a divine, if that's not a sign, a divine intervention or a sign of fucking absolute, I'm like, fuck, whatever. You know, that's why it's like, everybody's like, you got to call this person. I'm like, I can't call anybody. The fuck? Unless somebody fucking calls me and I respond, like, can I call somebody? So it's kind of fucked up. Um, you guys are so funny. You guys are just too much. Anyways, um, I heard it's better next life also, because we ain't in this hellscape. So, anyways, um, activate your angel powers. You're gonna get it. I ain't gonna ever call anybody Jesus. I don't pray to Jesus because I wouldn't pray to a man. That's what it says is don't pray or worship false idols or men. Hello, McFly. Jesus is a man that they made into a god, which is a false idol. So you're literally doing exactly the first. You're literally going against the first fucking 3 main things that it tells you in the Bible. Like only if it's translated correctly. The translation is wrong. Do not worship false idol. Do not worship men or false idol. Jesus was a man, and they're worshiping him as a god, which is a false idol. Do not take the Lord's name in vain. So again, people calling things God or attacking it or creating God into a man is also fucked up. So anyways, whatever. Whatever, you know what I'm saying? I'm just a messenger. Don't shoot me, guys. As always, I'm gonna get myself some. I'm gonna give myself some rest, so I can get up early tomorrow because I got a nice massage with my name on it, and I could be using that shit for sure. Thank God. Thank the gods. That's what I prayed to the gods for it, and boom. So it's always false idols. That's why there's like, look at we got American Idol. Oh, that like, bro, people are like, you're an idol, and I was like, I don't really like the word idol. It's weird because idle is, well, if you think about in cars, it's to stay stagnant. What? So to idolize is to fucking stagnate your own divinity. How about that? How about that? Catch me outside. How about that? Yeah, I don't like the word idol. Also, icon, right? Icon. What is that? Like some fucking Illuminati shit, bro? For real. For real. Icon. No, I don't like that. I'd rather be a legend, bro. Legends never die. You know? Or what was it? Prince was the symbol, right? Bro, be a symbol, be symbolic. Don't be idle. Because literally idle means to fucking to wait, to be at what? It's like in neutral. It's fucking some Swiss shit. Hidden word spells. That's what the entire English language is made out of, literally. You know, I learned so much when I was on my boat, and they were fucking with me all the time, and I'm just like, all right, I'm just gonna go hard. I'm gonna go hard right now. And yeah, television. That's why I tell people all the time. Television. Tell your vision. But now you're letting the vision be told to you instead of telling is crazy, right? Fucking crazy. But yeah, most people don't understand like the etymology of where the words, the basis of the words are coming from. And that's why they're just like, Jesus was the blah blah blah. It's like Sophia is divine wisdom. So where did the knowledge actually come from? I'm pretty sure it was a woman. Just saying. Look it up. Look at the word. So, anyways, I learned a lot when I was studying federal maritime and admiralty law because it's actually that's what the whole thing is based off of, right? The ship, your shipping, right? Your birth certificate when you have to birth a ship, which is docking a ship, which means it's coming to shore, it's coming to the land. You're birthing it. That's what it's called. A ship is also called a she. So you're birthing, the she is birthing. What? And the certificate, the birth certificate is also like, um, it's for product products or goods that are being delivered. How about that? The delivery room? Hello? Most people have no idea about what they're speaking, even. That's why words are spells. That's why it's called spelling. That's why people should understand or understand or overstand. Really, not understand, actually, it's a bad word because that means you're like belittled. That's why people are like, the Lord. And I was like, Lord, Lord, Lord. My grandfather used to say, Lord, Lord, landlord. Now I understand. It took me this long in my life to understand why he always said, Lord, Lord, landlord. Because everybody's like, the Lord, the Lord, the Lord. But the Lord is only the owner of the land or livestock, not a God. It's an owner of property or livestock. So when you're like, Lord, Jesus the Lord, no, he's not trying to own us. We're not his fucking property. We're not his fucking livestock. Like, again, that's probably where it got lost in translation because they described him as like the shepherd. But that doesn't make us livestock. It just means he was leading the sheeple, bitches. But whatever, whatever. Maybe information for another day, right? Maybe something for another chat. The program. It's like so much. There's so much. There's so much. I should just do a whole thing about words. Now, always great hearing from you. Ciao, Foster. Hey, James. We shouldn't say good morning. I say that all the time. Well, you're new here, so you don't know that. I always tell people don't say that because what are you mourning? We shouldn't be mourning. Grand rising. I like the words out here because they say matahari. It's the first eye of the day, the sun's first eye of the day. Matahari. Fucking tight, right? Matahari. Save that one for later. But it's like a grand rising, but it's the first sight and light of the day. Matahari. That's in Balinese. But yeah, you shouldn't say that because again, they programmed that. They programmed because people were actually mourning and they were trying to be positive about it. Like during the Dark Ages, like good morning, good morning. They were trying to be. They had jokes. They were like, that everybody's dying, but good morning to you. It's like good morning to you too, because everybody was mourning the loss of everything of the plagues, bro. That's when it came into play. But people don't understand where shit comes from. They just listen to one person say some shit and they don't ever actually do any research, and then they just are like, I'm an expert, bro. But yeah, maritime and admiralty law, you find a lot of good information in there for sure. The divinity within. Well, it's interesting that you say that, the snake in the Garden of Eden. So when Lilith, because she was cast out of the garden, she returned to the garden to rescue Eve, to bring Eve down to save the children. And guess what she appeared as? The serpent. But she wasn't evil. That was, again, man that made her evil. That was man's construct. She wasn't evil. And guess what? When Eve bit the fruit, okay? The fruit. Come back another day, Maxwell. I will let you know. See this about Adam L. When Eve bit the fruit, right? Adam L, the fool who attained knowledge because he was fucking foolish, and then he learned his lesson. He fucked around and found out. Anyways, what it talks about in here is actually that the God named, check this out, the God named the tree of knowledge of good and evil, Zoe. Want to see it in here? I'll show you. God in his mercy sent, and he named her Zoe. That's fucking my name. No shit. And I was channeling Lilith. No shit. So anyways, when she ate of the fruit, nothing bad happened. God didn't come down and fucking smite her because she was never told she couldn't eat the fruit. He was told. And when he fucking tried to be like, but I didn't. That's why y'all have an Adam's apple stuck in your throat. Because it's the first lie you ever fucking choked on. Funny, right? Makes sense, though. Break it down. But anyways, she returned as a serpent because the serpent is actually patriarchal construct that it's evil. The serpent are known as the Nagas, okay? In Hindu, the serpents are known as the Nagas, and they are the ones that protect the Buddhas and all of the higher up deities because they have higher level senses. The Nagas are the same, the serpents are the same as the dragons. We were talking about this yesterday, the day before on the feed, and they come from the water, they come from the river, from the mountains, from the volcanoes. There's different, it's like this primordial energy. So actually, their higher level of senses, not evil. That was, again, patriarchy that put that there. So I take that as a compliment. that divinity was a snake in the Garden of Eden that told Adam and Eve the same lie. That's funny. Everybody wants to talk about Genesis, but has anybody studied Revelations? Bitch. You should check it out. Everybody just quote, everybody can AI Google a fucking quote, but I know the Bible back to forth. What comes after Genesis? Can you name all the names of the Bible? Do you even know? Do you even know out there, Maxwell? Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges, Ruth, Samuel, Kings, Chronicles, First and Second. Do you even know the order of the goddamn books? And don't fucking try to school me on some shit that I already put a lot of years of schooling into, because you're stuck in a patriarchal construct. I am the messenger of the divine. Go pray about that. Since you're so godly, go pray about that. Or tell God to smite me down. See what happens. Because God is a woman. Creation itself is a woman. This entire planet. Mother Earth, Mother Nature, Mother Ocean, Mother Moon, Father Sky. Because he's blowing smoke up your ass. That he was the one that did it. Just like the wind, gone like that. Yeah, the same as the car, exactly. Yahweh is not the creator. Go look up your King James version of the Bible, because the same person that wrote it wrote demonology. He was actually way more well-versed in demonology than he was in scripture. But you're quoting that demon worshiper, you're quoting his fucking text and you don't even know it properly. I bet I could fucking throw you under the table with Bible verses out my pocket. I don't have to Google that shit. So check yourself before you wreck yourself. Call me a nut, but nuts in your mouth is bad for your health. Yeah, big difference in dialogue meanings. Americans, we just get fucked. Yeah. You have a really good video on maritime law. It explains so much. You'll freak the average mind out. Yeah, they can't even yes, actually, it's in the Bible a lot of times, not Lilith. But how'd you know that? How'd you know why I go by the name of Lilith? Are you one of these fucking hackers? That's what it looks like. It's okay. Channeling is not demonic. What do you fucking think Jesus was doing, bro? Where do you think he got the information? You think God just sent him a fucking telegram and was like, this is all the information? How did your Bible and your text get written? By a man that was channeling an angel that told him what to fucking write, you dumbass motherfucker. Fucking check yourself before you wreck yourself, because you don't know what you're talking about. You're hypocritical, bitch. You're hypocritical. Go check it. Go check yourself. Go check yourself in. Go check yourself in a Bible study, because maybe you didn't really realize, because when you just fucking Googling Bible verses and you don't actually know them, bro, I had to fucking learn that shit for hours every day, bro, for like 4 years straight to do anything. I had psycho fucking religious people, but actually they're just super fucking demonic. And guess what, buddy? You're gonna love it. You know what's demonic? Eating the flesh of Christ and drinking the blood. That is a satanic ritual. So enjoy your fucking church and your sacrament, you fucking demon worshiper. Talk about it. Go talk about it. Who's giving the prophet the good word? Where did he pull that out of his asshole? Or was he channeling it? The good word of God. Whoa, how about that? Fucking put that in your pipe and fucking smoke it. The serpent is not Satan. They called the serpent Satan because she came back, and because this is how far back the patriarchal the wounded masculine that is fucking struggling right now in the collective, the wounded masculine. That's how far back. They're like, he's Satan, she's Satan. Because she told a man, fuck you, I'm not subservient, bitch. So anybody that says that she's the devil is actually demonic themselves, because they're not worshiping creation itself. Bitch, where did you come from? You came from a fucking pussy. No man ever created fucking nothing except for problems. Think about all of the bullshit in women's lives. Menstruation, menopause. Think about all of the fucking dumb shit. Mental. Just think about it. You guys have literally been poisoning the well that fucking long. That's how far back the patriarchal fucking shit goes. Literally. That's how far back it goes. It's literally from Adam and Eve. You're literally his story. His story? Yeah, because you guys were so jealous that you couldn't fucking create anything and that you needed to support and protect life that you're like, I want to be the creator. And that's when you guys fucking created that whole shit and made it into monotheism. Wake the fuck up. That's just fucking kindergarten, bro. Wake the fuck up, study some actual religion, and then come back to me and let me know when you can recite out of pocket all the Bible verses when you didn't fucking touch the goddamn Bible in fucking 20 years. And you're not using a fucking Google or something else. So if my information is false, why the fuck you here? Because you can't get enough. Just can't get enough. Just can't get enough. Yeah, God is patriarchal. It's the worship of man when man never created nothing. Tell me what the fuck man created. Tell me what the fuck man can create. Man can't create anything without something else. And I'm going to pray that all the women just stop birthing any more children so all the men fucking die off. We got plenty of sperm and sperm banks to fucking start a whole new generation for all the dumb shits like you that need to just be eliminated. Wake the fuck up. So you're going to get blocked. What are you saying, King James? Yeah, he also wrote Demonology, which was his most famous writing before he wrote King James Version. And he wrote that with Constantine, and they rewrote it. So go do yourself some fucking studying, okay? I'm going to hide you now so you can't comment here anymore because I'm done with reading your shit. Yeah, he got told, and he don't like it. And fuck him, I don't really care, bro. I had enough of dumb shit. You're going to have a big old, titty. That's right. That's right. When did you ever feel safe or held or loved by a man? Because I don't know that many people that was like, my daddy loved me so much. No, everybody's like, my mommy. They're not like, oh, I want to suckle on the. No. 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 Every plant has seeds and it blooms and it creates more fruit with more seeds. Feminine. What? Hello, McFly. Stop listening to a goddamn fucking preacher that is egotistical, that is misogynistical. Go learn yourself some fucking knowledge. Now, I didn't block you. I just blocked your comments so you can still fucking listen, because you wouldn't be here if you weren't getting something from it. Because you know what God didn't do? He didn't tell people. He didn't judge other people. He didn't tell people, no, this is the only fucking religion. The fuck? Get the fuck out of here. Jesus is God. No, Jesus is not God. Pray to him about that. I call the hand of Jesus to slap your ass so hard your head fucking spins so you can pull it out of your ass and fucking come back to us. Peace be with you. May you have the life that you deserve. Like, that's why God of Chaos gets to stay here. He's just like, I got jalapeno chip. Like, bro, at least his ADHD ain't, but he just fucking, you know, fuck it. I don't need to repent. You repent. Paganism, bitch. You know what Christmas is? Pagan. Go fucking read about it. You're gonna be surprised. You're gonna be like, oh shit. It's the only way that they could get everybody off of the actual what it is. Do you even know what paganism is? It's the worship of the cycles and the nature. You're just a fucking idiot. You're an idiot. I'm glad I fucking blocked you. I'm glad I blocked your comments so I don't have to read anymore. Because you're dumb. You so dumb. You didn't actually study nothing. You just fucking Googled some shit. Hater. Google fucking Lilith. How many times was Lilith actually mentioned in the Bible? But they erased her name, bitch. But she's there over and over and over again. Go read the Bible and stop asking Google to puke up Bible verses to try to act like you fucking love Jesus when you probably just love to suck dick and you don't want people to know it. It's okay. It's okay to be gay. Just admit it. It's okay. It's 2026, bro. If you're gay, it's okay. Why would anyone even want to have a child these days? Fuck that. You were losing brains from this fucking guy. Like, bro, I can't do it. Anyways, guys, as always, I appreciate all of your love, your support. I appreciate good information. Yeah, exactly. That's why I just blocked. That's why I blocked him. Did you notice I just stopped reading him and GOC's fucking chats? I was just like, I'm not even gonna read your shit because you guys are because they want to fight. Okay. So the need to be right and to fight instead of actually having information, like I ain't here fighting, I'm dropping facts. I'm dropping facts and I'm dropping knowledge. He's just out of anger. This isn't out of anger. This is actual divine wisdom. Go learn you some fucking knowledge before you start going off on people. Like I can go off on people because I'm a motherfucking ascended master, just like my buddy Jesus. Go pray about it. He'll fucking tell you. That's the one. Don't fuck with her. You're gonna be sorry. You're gonna wish you didn't. Tomorrow you're gonna feel that shit. Guaranteed. Thank you, Most High Goddess. Stay blessed. Anyways, guys, as always, I appreciate the entertainment and the chat. I appreciate your guys' likes, comments, shares, and subscribes. The information in the information box below will show you some of my other stuff that I do. Also, the $5 reading raffle. You guys, I'm giving away 7 25-minute sessions because I have 1,000 subscribers. And that's another thing. When you get like 300 to 3,000 people tuning in to hear what you had to say every day, then fucking go start your own channel and see who wants to listen to your dumb ass. Because I'll tell you what, listen, I got 300 to 3,000 people that tune in every fucking day. So I must be doing something right. Otherwise, for sure, God would have smitten me down by now. But it's not a man, it's a woman. That's why she like, bring us back up. Reseat us where we belong. Restore the balance of this world. Women only multiply what they are given. So you give them bullshit, you're gonna get horse shit. You're gonna get covered with it. You give them respect and support, you're gonna get it back. But you hating, it's okay. You do that. Everybody's gotta be good at something. Okay? Some people just good at fucking fighting with other people because they're bored, because they're angry, because everything that they've been told is being challenged. So I would guess that Maxwell is probably like 50, 60 something because his religion is being challenged. Like, bro, I had the same shit. Like, I was only 2 years ago that I realized that eating the sacrament was a satanic ritual. I mean, I haven't been to church in a long time, but fuck. I was like, holy shit balls, Batman. God damn it. Everybody thinks it's all sacred and it's Satan. Shit. Fuck stack. So, anyways, it takes a lot to be like, well, we've been lied to. Just like the calendar and just like everything was created so they could collect taxes and money, fool. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Bringing the bone thugs, bro. Anyways, guys, as always, I appreciate your participation in whatever way it comes. In case nobody told you today, I think you are amazing. You are awesome. You got this. Keep going. If you're out there doing the work and you are being true to yourself and you're being authentic and you're not hurting or attacking anybody else, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. You're doing good. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. The truth will always prevail. Authenticity will always prevail. And what was written, our laws and these words and all this shit, like it's all been manipulated. But hey, we're waking up to it. And you're on your own, but you're not alone. We are all having this what the fuck moment as a collective. And that's okay. Just be patient with yourself, be graceful with yourself, give yourself lots of pats on the back, and make sure to take care of yourself. It's Friday, it's the day of Venus. So treat yourself. Make sure to take care of your lovely self. Okay, like that's why I was like, I'm gonna come and get a massage. I'm gonna eat the nut because it's Venus Day. Love. Love yourself. Love your neighbor. Don't fucking attack them, even if they are a whore. I had a bit like that. That's why I left because I was like, I'm gonna fucking fuck up this chick's bike. And then I was like, nope, nope, I'm not. Excuse me, goddess. Can you sort that out for me? Excuse me, Legion of Angels. Can you sort that out for me? Archangel Michael, I call upon you to strike them. Anyways, we'll go over the angels tomorrow and the different ones to call on. Look at that, 2202. Manifest those beautiful partnerships, but make sure that you're good with yourself, okay? So I'm proud of you in case nobody told you today or this week or maybe in your lifetime. I love you. You're amazing. Keep going. And as always, smoochy boochies, infinite blessings, love, and light. Ciao for meow. Zoe out. Yes. Yes. Actually, just to say one thing here. Um, James said, you heard that if you put a seed in your mouth before you plant it, it will give more benefits to your health. That is absolutely true. Actually, this is very true. It will detect what is missing or what is off within your body, and it will take part of your body's genetics, not genetics, but yeah, but a little bit, and it will actually grow to produce you the thing that you are missing. Again, that's the feminine producing fruit. But yeah, even a man can just spit on it, suck on it a little. But yeah, it will produce that. It's super important. Like that's real shit. That's real shit. So amazing. As always, guys, I love you. Ciao for meow. So yeah.